talk about professional wrestling.
Nobody knows the whole story, so I'll tell you.
How about you, Jason?
Oh, this is like a murder room. This is great.
Lots of black sex magicians out there, right?
And look down like, what the fuck?
Oh, we're gonna just do it this way and nobody's gonna stop us.
I want to show that a real champion has to do things for the community, for your people, for other women, you know?
In this business, what you sell is emotions. If you manage to get people invested, you did it.
That's reverse videotape.
It's time for another MMM show.
Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. Man, that last guitar line is a little long. So it goes a little. Yeah. I got
the guy that made it right here. You want me to tell him that he's late?
No, Byron.
No. Well, that's chopped up a bit. So when it's settled, we'll just have him do a clean track.
It's a work in progress. I'm loving it though. I'm feeling it. There's like still a couple little spots that we got to massage, but Byron's been like steadily making adjustments and whatnot. Like you guys didn't see, like I think you guys have all seen version 1.0 and 2.0, but I don't think everybody saw like 3.0 and 4.0. We're on like 5.3 right now. So
yeah, it's
what's
fun
up?
to
do. Rebecca's here. CK's here. I don't know what CK was trying to post with that, but that was supposedly going to be an emoji, I think.
Who is CK?
Daniel's here. CK is a regular viewer. That's all you need to know. Anyway,
thanks for watching.
Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. I'm your host, the Outlaw, Justin Harvey. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You, in fact, can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow75. This guy over here, that's at Tony Allen.
Hi,
down there, we got the man from up north, Bear. And Caddy Corner. Down in there, we got at Byron Fever.
Catch it.
He said it. We did the thing with the timing and the stuff. Today's gonna be fun, guys. Okay. So I did this. I watched. Let's go back to. I watched Dynamite. We all watched Dynamite last week, and then after that, I watched TNA on Thursday, and I watched a little bit of Ring of Honor. I watched SmackDown on Friday, and then there was AAA on Saturday, and I also watched. Then I watched Raw on Monday, and then I watched.
CMLL. You had CMLL. You didn't watch it.
I didn't watch the CMLL. That's what I was getting to. I even watched NWA this week. Did not get to CMLL. I watched so much wrestling. I feel like I'm still watching wrestling right now. In fact, we just came off a hot Dynamite. I'm going to start right there. Dig, what's up?
I have a quick question. So is there a weekly CML and AAA?
You want me to explain this? Do we have time so I can explain it? Because he's gonna take
on
forever.
Saturdays. Both those shows are weekly.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it in the Lucha Libre segment because we're gonna actually have a Lucha Libre segment today.
We talk about Lucha Libre.
Yes, I'm gonna do actual segments today. I got like
this is gonna be a good show. I like this.
All right, I'm trying some things
of this show, but whatever.
to keep us on track. So
tell you guys too something that I have to deal with. So now you guys have to.
What's that?
I had to close my windows and the door in here before I started talking, and one of my cats left a big old stinker in a little litter box.
Oh, a hot one,
fresh
one.
I thought maybe you guys would enjoy me having to experience this.
Hola, CK. What's up, Digger MTB? What's up, Kinsley Lynn? How y'all feeling? Welcome. Please contribute, say things, do things, make fun of Byron. What
are we doing next?
I came up with segments and not to brush aside your cat turd story.
Bad.
try a little bit of a thing here. We're gonna do some order to some things. We're gonna have some
Flip it.
things. So first, we're gonna start because it's hot off the presses. We're gonna start with a little Dynamite recap. That's right. This is show Dynamite recap.
We had to
Because
pay attention.
We had 2 title changes. How can we not talk about 2 title changes on a go home show? When the hell does that ever happen?
Wait,
That was
how's
great.
that go home show? The
Well,
Saturday,
it's
like
to
a
Grand
special
Slam. It's
event.
not to a pay per
it's a
view.
collision.
It's like a Clash of the Champions.
It's a grand lision.
It's called Battle of the Belts, man. Know the brands.
It's grand lision on Saturday, right?
Valentine's Day. Get your dates ready.
Yes,
do wanna
because
bring-
that
yeah.
is the day to have a big marquee event with a Puestas match on Valentine's Day. When
Well,
I
you
mean,
know, wrestling
when I forget-
fans.
I
Probably
forget that I'm
the
Mexican
time
and I
free.
haven't spicy candy.
I think wrestling fans should be insulted because Tony Khan is basically saying you don't have a date and you're going to watch wrestling and it's going to be my show because you're a sicko without a girlfriend. I think all of you wrestling fans should. What up, Mike? I know he's
Wait, so
talking to Byron, right? When you say hi, punk, you're talking to Byron.
I got street cred.
I gotta
Oh,
say,
yeah.
I like the Tekla belt change thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
about it.
And it sucks a little
Why?
bit because I feel like Chris is hitting her stride, but also,
Mhm.
like, let's keep it interesting. This is the most exciting a Dynamite's been in a minute. Like, I didn't expect Fletcher to win either. Also, that was a banger. Also, welcome to Dynamite. Tommaso Ciampa have a belt for a day. Jeez.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have a role in a triple threat. I thought the 3 of them kind of established a fun little thing, but maybe, I don't know, down the road.
I feel like that is still where we're headed.
Okay.
I think we're doing a little kind of a ring around the rosy here thing too. Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa lost his belt, CK.
But I like that. And I think they got that magic with the world title too. These titles, the show is all about the titles now. And everyone, they say money's in the chase and all that. Everyone's chasing them.
Yeah,
It's interesting. And you don't know what's going to happen.
that's
But-
the key. Thank you. I finally
welcome.
don't know what's going to happen. When I turned on AEW Dynamite tonight, I felt like this was every other week and I was going to know exactly where we were going.
Fair.
And I was wrong. And when wrestling is fun is when I'm wrong. When wrestling is not fun is when they do exactly what I expected or what I heard in the dirt sheets or this, that. I didn't hear anything about any of this. I didn't think there was any inkling that Tekla was going to walk away with that belt, especially in the middle of the show or at the end of the show. And I like that it headlined too. I like that they acknowledged the fact because honestly, I'm watching. I was angry when they did the belt change with Kyle Fletcher and Tommaso Ciampa. I'm like, this is insulting. Why? This match is a banger. This is an actual Dave Meltzer 5-star match. Why is this not headlining tonight? There's no way that this, and with a title change, why the hell wouldn't you headline with this and go home to Australia with Fletcher touting that belt or whatever? You want to know why? Because we're putting it on Tekla instead at the end of the show, and Kyle is going to go and get to continue his story in Australia. And I don't think Tekla is going, or Statlander, right? They're not on the card in Australia. So
I don't know what the card is on that show.
Hold on. Isn't Tekla Australian? No, all right.
no, she's
Austrian.
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 Oh,
Close.
sorry. It's just
But
blocked
she
that
speaks
out.
6 languages, so it hardly even matters where she's from. Like fluently speaks 6 languages.
On that same subject that you guys brought up, can I tell you how convenient it would have been if Hitler was Australian
Oh wow.
instead of Austrian?
Meatloaf would love you right now because
It would have worked out so much better.
Is Meef taking over your body right now? What is this?
Oh, am I the only one who's anti-Hitler in this room? I thought we had a
no,
agreement.
I think we established that earlier. Yeah.
Also, I do want to bring up, because it's also topical, the MMM show has been the premier anti-pedo wrestling podcast for a decade. We have,
Fuck the pedos.
like, you could go back and check.
I have a coupe, but not a toupee.
No, I just shaved my head.
Not yet.
No, I
You
have
need to borrow one?
actual hair. Just kind of.
Deal. Yeah, it was great. I think it was a great show in general. It made me pay attention. You guys know that's a problem for me. So,
What'd you say?
what? But the thing is, what did this championship do for Statlander? And I'm okay if I'm wrong. Maybe
Yeah. It was supposed to.
What did it do? I feel like this is,
Can I tell you what I really think it did for Statlander?
TNT
I have an idea
championship,
too.
I think, you know what I think it did for Statlander?
What?
I think it gave her a good NXT run. I'm not kidding.
God.
I feel like it was an NXT title run to test some things out, for her to learn the ropes a little bit, for her to become able to be a top guy. And I think it worked, because like by the time we saw her, like, me and Bear were talking last week, like, yeah, she's looking the part right now. She's looking like a champion. And then this week, absolutely, like some new gear. She came out there.
I like it.
Like,
the wardrobe game stepped up for sure.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
her
like,
promos throughout the week were good, and like the package that they put together for the strap match was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to see this match. Like,
I think
the heat that they put on it, and Tekla deserves a lot of credit too. Like, look, Tekla, you're there, you're a heel. Her job is not to necessarily get over herself. Her job is to get Chris Statlander over, and I think that Chris Statlander gets over more in that loss than she has been in wins over the last 5 or 6 weeks.
No, that's correct. I mean, I actually like the fact that she won, and because it does bring a certain freshness to this. We are less than a month away from Revolution, which I'm expecting that will be like a huge. There might be some changes. There will be some people returning. There might be something interesting there. So I'm hoping, right, that they keep it as fresh in the upcoming months.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to have that just a little bit further, so I can see what you guys are seeing, because I did not get to enjoy that. I think but I hope that with the loss, she becomes more sympathetic, and she has more freedom to do other stuff,
She just needs more story in general, and she needs someone to work with that feels like a credible threat. If she just beats Tekla, like, what are we even doing anymore? Like, there's no, Tony has held up the division for a while. Between Tony and Mercedes last year, you really didn't have any parity in the women's division. So now you have to build it. And that's going to require the belt flip-flopping a little bit. These people have to be these threats.
They've been building Tekla up, though. I mean, she's been
that's
probably
right.
probably a year ago, I think. I think that was roughly when she came in.
What the heck?
She but yeah, I think Tekla's been doing a really good job. She's been putting in a lot of work. I think they've been building her up as a credible threat to the championship belt. So seeing her win it, I think, is awesome. I was a huge fan of her winning it. The only downside to it is I do like that AEW kind of certain people have certain matches that they're Hangman Page has got the Texas Death Match that he's in a lot and he wins. And there was something that I was kind of hoping that a strap match might be like Stratlander's thing, because I do like that strap daddy thing. I think that's kind of fun. And so there is part of me that kind of did want her to win that, just so that she could have her own kind of special match that she'd get to, participate
But
in.
maybe it still will be. And who says she has to win it all the time? Maybe the joke is that every time she does one, she loses, and her goal is to finally win one 5 years from now. There's
I like that. I would like that idea.
Have writers.
Yeah, right. But I did like that idea, that I think it fits her persona. And you're saying that she needs to get a bit more, rounding out who her persona is, and having kind of a fun specialty match could definitely do that. But
and if you heard Tekla on Talk is Jericho recently, she put over Tony Khan in a very specific way. And she said that she loves Tony Khan because when she came in, she saw that this guy built this whole thing and he's doing it by himself. She appreciates that. Now, I tend to think that's a mistake some days. And I tend to think that if Tony had some people he could trust or some people that were like-minded individuals, the whole thing would be going a lot smoother. But
yeah,
what Tony works really well with is when people come in and they see the vision. Tekla clearly saw his vision, and that gets respect from Tony. He has been pushing her hard since the day she came in because they sat around and talked wrestling, and she got the vision. He liked Bryan Danielson because he got the Tony vision. He likes the people that get the vision. If you don't get the vision, you don't get booked. She got it. He didn't care what the other girls were saying or what was going on. He just kept steady. He had a vision in his mind for her, and it worked. Like, Tony Khan is a good booker when the vision is there. His problem is Tony Khan, and people can call him the best booker all day long, and I'm not going to fight him. If you say Tony Khan is the best booker out there, I'm not going to fight you. Where I will fight you is if you say that Tony Khan is the best writer, because he's not. And that is where the problem resides sometimes. But I think that is part of what is being fixed right now. AEW is getting a style, and that style involves him not having to tell deep stories or telenovelas or soap opera stuff because he's not very good at it. And what I love about this right now is, okay, he's been trying to crack this formula for ages of how the hell do I make AEW feel like it's a sports product. He always wanted, he always had this idea. We try the win-loss record, we try the athletic competition thing.
It's back, by the way.
Yeah, what I say at the beginning of the year, every year they try this thing again with okay, this season this guy's 4-2 and whatever, and then halfway through the year it
that's right.
Sometimes it benefits friends of ours,
right?
Sometimes it benefits certain friends of ours that had comebacks a couple of years ago and didn't catch any losses on that comeback thing. And then everybody in the back was like, oh, wait, this person's undefeated, so we can put them in a title. But other times it's like, oh, wait, this guy is really good. And his record is now 4-7. Crap, we can't push this person like we want to. So then it becomes stupid.
You're right. Something
you said the magic word, CK. That is the magic word here. The password is Go ahead, Ben.
If he really wants to make it feel like more sports, I do think these faster title changes really do that too, because that's traditionally what happens in the UFC and you know fighting sports like that. There's not particularly long title reigns, you know, because realistically there is a lot of unpredictability to some of these combat sports. You know, the right knockout punch or something like that could get somebody off on a bad day, you know. And I'm not as big a fan of the long title reigns. I think that's been a big part of my just, you know, especially in WWE, they did really long title reigns for a lot of it. And it just gets to the point of like, it feels like everything's on repeat. It's like, all right, like you said, there's no unpredictability, and they build up to a big moment, right? And they get that payoff, but it's like everything to get to that big moment took forever. And it just feels like it becomes so redundant all the time. And there's just nothing that ever happens.
You need surprises, and it doesn't necessarily have to be belt changes, but that is the kind of surprise that Tony is good at. But you need zigs and zags. You need things that you weren't expecting in the story, and WWE is pretty good at it. Even when they're stupid, they get you talking about the guy in the mask or whatever the hell it is. There's something that you're waiting for to see the next week. And
I think though, with regards to long and short title reigns, I think this is very exciting where everything can and is shifting constantly or is under threat. That's awesome. I do like a long title reign if it's done correctly, but it has to be interesting. You still need goals that you're chasing somehow. But the gold standard for me,
Bears nominated this week. It was Byron last week. Bears nominated.
The Man in the Shadow is such a cool name. I wish I had a cool name on the show. All I have are insults. But the gold standard for me for a long title reign for me is Okada had set the record number of defenses for IWGP and New Japan, and he was coming up as like the pretty boy golden child of New Japan, and every opponent was an established wrestler who was of a different style. So you kind of had an idea Okada is the golden boy and he's going to carry the business and not lose the title. But can he have a Minoru Suzuki match? Can he stand up with him and do the thing? And it works. Can he go, toe to toe with Shibata the way Shibata fights? And that match was fantastic, but it's
that's
also
great.
very hard to watch.
And he's like your John Jones guy. And he's like your guy that cracks all the formulas. But then, like I was saying, in the UFC, you have these guys like Tyron Woodley was unbeatable for like 3 fights, and probably to this day can still beat 92% of the guys in the UFC. But that other 8% cracked his code. Yeah. And he couldn't beat any of those other guys that were in the top 5 at a certain point in time. And like he could never get back to the championship. And that's the way it goes sometimes. And bringing a little bit of that into wrestling, I think really is smart. It makes it feel like more of, more parody. What does Rebecca have to say? Long title reigns only work with people who fans want to see get their ass kicked, or people who kick some serious ass, right? Otherwise it just gets boring, i.e. Roman.
Yeah, Roman, but I think it's like well, it's not just that they had the same match. It's that I think what I have a problem with the long title reigns, and you saw it with the Death Riders, and you saw it with Roman, is that it's not like a fighting champion that's like getting wins. There's constant interference from like a group or something that maintain the long title reign. And then it becomes the same bullshit every week. He's almost going to lose. He gets some kind of interference and he escapes with the title. And that's just a bad long title reign formula. It becomes formulaic. Everybody knows what's going to happen, and it just drags and it's boring.
Well, and that's why Roman Reigns' run became about everything but the matches. Like the pay-per-view was just a chance to hear the theme song and see the guys do the thing that you knew they were going to do. But like all the fun stuff was the Sammy stuff and the Heyman stuff and the back and forth with Jay or Jimmy and all that. It was all the soap opera stuff. Like if you liked that storyline, you didn't like it because of his crazy long win. You liked it because of the soap opera.
But did you need the title for the soap opera? Like that's the thing that buys me nuts about it. Does, but you can do soap opera stuff without a title being the main part of it. In fact, I love
ingredient.
But I don't disagree. I don't disagree in the fact that you should do soap opera stuff when the title isn't involved. And that is part of, I think, where AEW is getting it, because we have that right now with Swerve and Kenny Omega. Yeah. They found a way to use reaching for the title to create Tony Khan's brand of telenovela, which is still the locker room bravado thing of sports combat or whatever. But it turned into like you can't get the belt right now and I can't get the belt right now, but I can get you right now. And somehow they stretch. And the thing is, that only works if you don't hot shot it. Tony Khan took 4 or 5 weeks to build that this time. And it was obvious where it was going. But like when they did that whole like Kenny Swerve, like did his Swerve thing and went back to being babyface, and then him and Ospreay are jumping off the rafters all in one 30-minute segment or whatever that dumbness was. That was the worst case of hot shotting ever, where they could have built something huge where these two guys were at odds, two of the best wrestlers in the world, and then they come together to fight a common enemy. Could have been great, but they told the entire story in 15 minutes, and it was like, what are we doing? Yeah. This is the biggest waste. But again, kudos to Tony Khan, who I don't think is a very good writer. I think he's a great booker, and he found a way to reverse engineer his booking and say, okay, I want to get to Swerve and Kenny and make it feel like top guys fighting without a belt. How do I do that? This is how we do that. You can do stuff with Hangman and Swerve and Kenny Omega and stuff like that, guys who are at the top. Think about all the programs The Rock had during the Attitude Era and right after the Attitude Era, that he didn't have the belt.
Yeah.
And they would go to the pay-per-view with a match. A lot of those guys, Randy Orton didn't always have the belt. Cena didn't always have the belt, but they always had a big match. And that is one of the things that kills me in AEW, because I feel like now, and even WWE, it's like for it to be a big match, there has to be a secondary belt involved or some kind of belt involved. Wrestling didn't used to need that. It was
what you're saying is that like we can want to see a dream match, right? We want to see Kenny and Swerve, right? We want to see that.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to see that, but we don't need to hotshot it. Like if you're telling me there's going to be a cool match and you can tell a story for 4 or 5 weeks to get there, I don't care if the ending's predictable because we want to see the match, you know? But at least now there's a bit of a story that built that match up that makes that match even better because they actually are fighting for a reason that's not just like a dream match. And I think that's the problem sometimes I see with AEW is they have a lot of awesome dream matches that kind of come out of nowhere sometimes. And it's like, I love seeing these two people in a match. I want to see that. But like, you know, you could have, like you're saying, took a little bit more time to tell why that, you know, build some suspense into it. Like
and
make
you kind of have to because part of the other thing that we like about these guys is not just that they have good matches, but that they have charisma, they have charm, they have mic skills, they have other intangibles that are not just wrestling. And the better they get at those, like I remember I was at an AEW show and somebody turned to me after a Will Ospreay thing and they were like, wow, Will's pretty good on the mic. He had been in AEW for like a year at that point in time. And it's like, oh, yeah, actually he is, and he has been for a long time. You just don't know it because this product is so focused on his wrestling. But Will actually is an all-around, you know, well-rounded guy. Now, Kenny Omega hasn't always given the best promos, but he's got a certain charm and charisma when you let him do, especially as a babyface. Doesn't work as good as a heel, but let him do it. And like also, I feel like Kenny hasn't gotten enough reps on the microphone since AEW started. Like he got more reps on the mic in Japan because they would always have to do those press conferences and those backstage bits or whatever.
And he'd close out the show. You have to, when you win the main event, you have to send everyone home.
He learned a certain thing that worked, and like AEW never did that for him. But certain guys, and I think like having guys like Don Callis, whether you like the guy or not, real or kayfabe, whatever, having guys like him around and having him have a big faction, guys like Kyle Fletcher learned from him because Kyle didn't talk a whole lot in New Japan. Kyle didn't talk a whole lot anywhere. But guess what? Kyle's got it. Kyle's got it factor. He's learning what works for him, you know, and
well, he's soaking everything up too. You look at him now, and it's not just, you know, 40 pounds of muscle that magically appeared. It's also and the fact that he can talk with confidence. He talks in a certain way. He found the voice. He wrestles a match that's his match. When he showed up, he was awesome, and he was Will Ospreay, you know, Jr.
Correct.
But he doesn't do a Will Ospreay match anymore.
No, he's got his own match now. And I think a lot of that has been a byproduct of working with guys like Mark Briscoe and other people who have different styles. He's not just trying to do the Meltzer 5-star match anymore. He's trying to do a Fletcher 5-star match now. And he brings it to whoever that opponent is. So speaking of which, there's one more match from AEW I got to talk about before we move on to the rest of our subjects tonight. I got to talk about this Young Bucks thing because every time the Young Bucks come to Ontario, we have to have the Meltzer 5-star Young Bucks match. It's such a formula. Like before it used to be the Lucha Brothers, and they've done it with Private Party before, and they always have to have that. I think they did one with FTR two years ago or whatever. It's getting old. And I also got to say that the ring rust on Private Party and the Young Bucks tonight was obvious to me. They did not look very crisp. And it looked like the Rascals were the only ones in really good ring shape tonight that were kind of carrying the whole match, except the Young Bucks were calling the whole match. But it felt pointless and trite to me. It felt like very useless.
I had fun. I enjoyed it. It's just the weird thing to me was the Bucks had to win because they're doing the whole super feud with FTR. They're bringing that back, but
again,
I would like to see. I mean, I get it.
Bucks FTR 20.
12.
I get it. Like in their mind, sure, they're they have this big thing that they could come back to, and who's the best tag team of all time, and blah blah blah. But Private Party just.
I don't want to see that at Revolution. I would rather build to that sensibly and do it at All In. Like if it's one of these pillar storylines of the company that we're always going to be fighting to see who's the best tag team of all time in AEW, and it's always going to be the Young Bucks and FTR. FTR just came off of all these awards and accolades from last year, which is senseless because last year wasn't FTR's best year. It was the year before that. But FTR basically de facto got it because the Young Bucks were gone all last year. So they won all these indie darling awards. So yeah, there is a thing there to be had. I just don't want it right now. And I'm tired of every time we go to Ontario starting this thing again.
I just wish they could add something new to the mix in terms of like that duo. In terms of like to some extent, like in the 2000s, right? Early 2000s, you had the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and Hardys, right? And they were your like three hot teams that traded the belts all the time. And I think adding like a third team in there would be like really interesting if you could get another team that kind of comes out of like nowhere and like they're a credible threat to both of them and maybe even, you know, beats both of them in a way and gets into that conversation of are FTR and Young Bucks still the two best tag teams in there? You know, that could be something that's interesting to me. But like running it back of just FTR and Bucks, it's like I've seen this how many times now over the like what is it? AEW's been around for 5-6 years now. How many times have we seen the FTR Bucks match? You know, it's just it's
in different companies too.
Yeah, and it's like it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, they always put on a good show, but it's just like if you're talking, it's just repetitive, and it's an easy out to. It's Bucks FTR, easy out. You know, it's just not. It's not something that's going to sell me on a pay-per-view anymore. You know, like that's not the match that I'm going into the pay-per-view and being like, I want to see this match.
Right.
You know,
you're not going to necessarily go and get a drink or a hot dog during the match, but at the same time, that's not the one you're showing up for.
But it was probably like the one thing that was not as good as the rest of the show.
Yeah, the rest of the show was great.
The rest of the show was great. I mean, I thought that Kenny and Swerve grabbed the attention immediately, and the women's match, the closing women's match was amazing, and I really like. So it was that one that I think if you're being too critical, they'll be like, "Oh, that was a low point on the show," but it was just because it's been done so many times and it's repetitive. Yeah. But yeah,
I would have liked to see Private Party because
I know that's what I was thinking.
And did they ever get a shot after they lost their belts to like reclaim it? Did they ever get a rematch?
No,
you know, because that to me, that to me makes a lot of sense. Have Private Party come back and win the match and to say we never got our opportunity to get these belts back. We've been off TV. We've been out of the company for like a year now. Nobody's even heard from us. You know, we basically got screwed after we lost our titles to some extent.
And
that
to me would have been
interesting.
Again, that involves storytelling and not booking.
I had to explain how that type of match works because, like, you know, just like your app. So I had somebody here barely watching wrestling, and then they go like, "Okay, but why is there everyone in the corner when they come in?" So I had to explain how. So that was also a thing that is not like, you know, your usual.
Well, they take it for granted and they don't explain these things that everyone just understands.
Not even on commentary, you know, because that would have been an easy fix. So
that's been a problem that AEW's had, but they don't want to talk down to the sickos, which it's like you're not talking down to the sickos. They're sickos. They're gonna watch anyway.
They know.
Instead of not talking down to them, why don't you bring new people into the fold? Explain to them what the sickos are seeing. You know, we need the greenhorn perspective. Like, give it to me for the new guy. Which
just give me a graphic.
Other shows, by the way, are doing very well at. So, all right, I'm going to move on from AEW, but that doesn't mean it's our last chance to talk about it because there's a new segment coming up in a little bit where if we want to talk about it, we can. But I'm going to go to our new segment, and I don't know how to do banners with our new layout, Byron, so I'm not even going to do banners. But this is the Hommeface Big Question of the week. That's right. Sponsored segment, Byron. How you like that?
I like it a lot.
The Hommeface Big Question. And heck yeah, I know the answer to this question. And maybe we all do, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And if you see the title of the show, I've already answered the question in the title of the show tonight. Okay, you know what? You're right. I will. Just for you, I'm gonna do this, CK. It takes me a half a second to find it.
CK's producing the show now.
It should. We'll talk about this later.
Big question of the week. And the question is WWE giving you enough for the price that you have to pay?
Can I?
Here to answer the question.
Yes.
Can me answer the question?
Big screen him.
Is WWE giving you enough?
Put him on the spot.
Giving me enough. Never giving me enough.
So for all the paywalls and
He's
the
not
ticket
even had
prices,
coffee.
and you don't feel like you're getting enough?
Well, it's cheap here in the UK.
Screw you.
Oh wait. Let's talk about that. That's a good point.
It's just
you
on
guys are
Netflix.
screwed. You guys are screwed for real. How many
Hey,
different
that's nice.
how many different streaming services you have to get to actually watch the whole ecosystem of
No, I mean, it's not that difficult. I just have to have, my A&E, my Peacock, my USA, my CW, which I can only get through over-the-air stuff. So I have to watch that through regular cable. My Netflix, my ESPN. What else do I need?
You need YouTube. You need YouTube for
YouTube because you got to watch AAA and
Wrestler Universe
podcast shows.
Need
Tubi
the premium.
You got to watch Tubi because you need, your Evolve and all that stuff. So it's only like a couple. It's only like a little handful
YouTube's
of
free,
stations.
kind of, isn't it? Let's be honest. So YouTube's free, and
you know
Netflix
what?
is £15.
Out of all of those, AAA is the best show, and it's on the It's on the cheapest platform. I mean,
The show really is good.
if you want, it is really good. If you want to get like the whole experience without commercials, then you might want to get YouTube Premium. But otherwise, you almost get it for free. Just your internet connection and a laptop.
Yeah, and you might be lucky enough that someone's giving you their password for Netflix.
Well, I
They won't
mean,
let you do that anymore.
of course, there's workarounds.
Oh no, but they pay for it and then let you on the account, don't they? So
That, but they don't let you just password.
no, but
share
you know what I
anybody.
mean. Like, it's that thing
Yeah,
of like,
yeah.
Well, Netflix
someone's
is
paying
vicious
for you.
about the password sharing now, but
So
look,
we gotta complain out of the subject, but I mean, here in Mexico, I need to pay VPN for AEW because I don't want to pay Fox also. That is true. You have to pay in Mexico to get AEW. So.
well, AEW is about a week behind. I don't even know how you watch it in the UK.
Wait,
It's not live.
AEW is 1 week behind in the UK?
Oh yeah, it's not live. I think it's a week behind.
What?
that's brutal.
Yeah.
How you
Hashtag
catch
spoilers.
up to get? How do you get caught up for like pay-per-views? That's crazy.
You don't.
Hashtag get this live. Get the UK live, Tony Khan.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine.
But you look, Tony's proven that nothing happens on the Go Home show. So
Nothing.
just a couple of belt changes, nothing
exemplo.
major. But so the reason I came to this is because I was looking at, I was, I read a lot of the trade magazines in the entertainment industry, being a TV producer and everything, and I'm just looking at all the stuff. I'm looking at all the deals they've made. I'm looking at some of the prices. I'm looking at how the tickets are selling for WrestleMania. And they waited a really long time to announce the packages that included Raw and SmackDown because now they're running 18 to 20% behind on ticket sales for Mania, and they've got 2 other huge shows to fill, and I don't even think they've put an NXT show on the weekend yet. And maybe they don't, because maybe they can't sell it, or maybe they do it in a really small room. I don't know. But I think there's a direct correlation with what they're giving us on TV with these sales. Yeah, they're going back to Vegas again, but last year it was on Easter weekend, and this year it's not.
Yeah, but there's a big difference, big picture with Vegas and how tourism and all that stuff and just a lot of stuff just is down in this country, and Vegas is a big spending money city. So there's just less people there to spend money one way or the other. We could talk about that on a different show.
But have you seen the financial situation of Vegas recently?
No, why don't you tell us, sir? Since
I was just second-hand information from watching Keeping 100.
Oh,
so Vegas is fairly struggling.
Yeah.
They still do what it's doing, but it's fairly struggling because obviously gambling can be done online now.
Well, you think that WrestleMania would be an opportunity for Vegas to kind of slash some prices and get some people in there. You know, like you'd think that if they're not doing well, you think.
Exactly. But TKO is taking this approach of less people for more money is still more money.
Yeah.
Is WrestleMania becoming
wrong? But my point is, okay, and I can see some people going for that. But when do you break the bank? When do you get past the point of saturation where it no longer works? And even though the event was in Saudi Arabia, this Royal Rumble has people going, do I want to pay $4,000 to go to WrestleMania and not get the big surprises and not get the big moments? We're in WrestleMania season right now, and it doesn't really entirely feel like it yet, which isn't.
And also,
problem.
you could have flown to Saudi Arabia, stayed in Saudi Arabia, eaten in Saudi Arabia, had lots of fun in Saudi Arabia, gone to the pay-per-view.
Can you have lots of fun in
not
Saudi
ringside,
Arabia?
but on the floor, and it would have been cheaper than going to see Monday Night Raw.
Right.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So would you guys say that WrestleMania is on the same tier as the Super Bowl?
That's what they want. That's what Vince has always wanted to do.
I think they've always wanted it, and I think what they're doing right now with WrestleMania is trying to treat it like that. Because if you look at like prices for the Super Bowl, you're paying like $4,000 for like really high up in Levi Stadium seats, right? And there's a market for that because the NFL is far-reaching and has a very big audience that goes beyond, like just like I don't know. I kind of feel like wrestling isn't quite the same fandom as the NFL, but they're trying to treat WrestleMania like that. And then on top of that, they're doing it in 2 nights. So they're trying to do 2 Super Bowls in 2 nights and try and monetize that. That's just a lot. That's just a lot.
What I think right now is, and this is the way that I look at it, right, is just that now going to the Super Bowl, at least for what we experience, is just a networking thing now. It's not even a. I mean, and also the game was lackluster. Like, let's be honest. Like, so maybe yes, they're
not
the same
the fourth
level,
quarter, but the rest of it was. The fourth quarter and the halftime were great. Everything else was.
The halftime was great. I did not even care.
Halftime,
about
2 thumbs up. If they put Bad Bunny on WrestleMania, I'd probably
be
more interested.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
They will throw money at him.
I'm glad I woke up at this very specific moment in time.
Well, we saved it just for you.
So
yeah.
But to answer Bear's question though, honestly, Vince McMahon never intended for it to be the Super Bowl. He intended for it to be as good as an Ali fight. What he wanted was 20 to 60,000 people in a room. And then he started doing the Superdome and stuff like that. And he did go bigger, but he wanted it to feel like a big, big boxing match. And I think that's more the equivalent that you still are looking at. Like, I think that WWE will always be fine with how a WrestleMania is perceived as long as it feels like the biggest Mike Tyson fight you ever saw or the biggest big fight feel that you ever saw. I don't think that in TKO is a little bit different, but Vince never saw it as the Super Bowl. He saw it as the biggest combat sports event on the planet.
I guess what I meant by that, and this kind of goes into the like what they're, Tony was saying about it being more of a networking thing now, is that like, or is it Byron? Did you say that? I can't remember who said it. But
Tony did.
Is that what the WWE wants? Or do they want like real fans there? Because I think to some extent the Super Bowl has gotten to this point where you're not.
They don't want real fans.
They don't want real, because that's the reality. Is the Super Bowl, like, you might get some people that are fans of the team, but for the most part it's like your upper echelon of people that can afford the tickets that aren't necessarily huge fan of any one particular sports team. Is that what WrestleMania is trying to become, where it becomes a cultural event where you get these rich people that can kind of come in?
It has already become this. I think I said this last year that the reason why they're moving the show to Saudi Arabia is because they are projecting, but by the time that they go to Saudi Arabia, no one in America will be able to afford going to WrestleMania. So maybe by the time they come back to America, they will have to do it in a small venue for the 20,000 people that Justin wants to be, or he used to be before.
Right, but here's the thing, Barry. You also asked the question the wrong way. Does WWE just want it to be this social networking event? No. WWE is Triple H and Michael Hayes and those guys
TKO.
that are in the back. TKO is Nick Khan and Ari Emanuel and all these other guys, and they absolutely do want that. And they want their business partners, Netflix and ESPN, to feel like they're a part of that. They are clout chasing 100% because I don't think they intend to own this company for very long. And part of their marketing strategy is to make it look like this hip place to cross market and get synergy, your big corporate word of the day, synergy with other products outside of the WWE. It's why they've put more focus on podcasts and reaching into other markets and these other programs and shows and staying on 10 different networks and putting people in the front row for Netflix that you don't know who the hell they are. Like, that is a part of their marketing scheme. That, however, has little to nothing to do with the actual WWE. WWE is owned by TKO. They are not the same company.
No, but I mean, really weird. So much of wrestling is based in. So much of wrestling is built into the fandom, though, and like the fans being there. And I'm wondering if they are losing a lot of it by sort of pricing out the average Joe that actually.
I think that's going to be a side effect that they will encounter unintentionally, and they are encountering as we speak.
The answer is yes. They are, and this is why the topic of the show is not WWE. Is WWE currently not worth the price of admission? No, the name of this episode is WWE is not currently worth the price of admission.
It's a statement. Well,
it's a statement.
Are there PELs even worth paying for an ESPN subscription at this point? I mean, we just saw the Rumble,
and this is what brought me to this topic. Bear, this is
and there was like 4 matches.
They're not, because it was worth $9.99 a month. That's what everything was worth.
Last Royal Rumble was worth. I mean, you get 4 matches with no big surprises. Yes, there was moments that carried storyline forward. There was absolutely
that's what you get now. 4 matches,
but
that's
I've seen better.
I complain when Tony Khan does 5 hours and 10 matches or 13 matches with the pre-show or whatever. I don't like that either. But like, can I get a 5 or 6 match pay-per-view with some good story and some decent surprises or a swerve or something that I'm not expecting?
There used to even be a pre-show.
Yeah, but with
pre-show matches, wasn't there? You'd have it on the
with AEW. You can actually take a break, go and get a hot dog, and you will still see another 2 good matches. If you do that with WWE. You have to go home and find your fucking car when you parked because it's over, man.
I mean, yeah, like some of these have been under 3 hours. Like you're hitting the 2 hour and 40-minute mark.
Well, here's a question. Have some of the AEW television specials been better than some of the paid PELEs? Because AEW will traditionally kind of put on like a pay-per-view style TV show every now and then.
Because they don't have 12 pay-per-views yet.
This episode tonight was probably better than like WrestlePalooza. Seriously, this episode today, except for the Bucks match, definitely was better than like the last year's PLE. Like just
and also,
but how many people actually watched it?
What?
Well, actually, tonight? Their numbers are up.
They're not.
They're not.
AEW Collision went back down last week. Dynamite is still up, and I expect Dynamite to stay up. I expect Dynamite to stay up.
It might take a dip with the John Box thing, but that's what I was trying to say earlier.
Look, and the quarter hours is another very important thing, because if you look at the quarter hours, since CM Punk, your top-rated AEW champion or person that's still there is 140% MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. There is no denying it. If you look at his quarter hour numbers, he spikes numbers better than anybody there. If you look at Samoa Joe's numbers, and I love Samoa Joe, His numbers as champion, not very good. Hangman Page's worse than Joe's. Like
was Moxley
was actually doing good. The beginning of his run was bad, and it was one of the things that was the most baffling to me because the IWC in particular just hated that storyline. Nobody was behind that storyline, but this is part of the thing that Tony Khan, I think, forgets sometimes too. Casual fans are those big numbers. The IWC is 70,000 of those 600,000 people. Okay.
I was going to say people watch it because they're ex-WWE.
Those people are watching Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Well,
they're watching Dean
brand.
Ambrose. But this is why
that's been established before AEW was even
correct.
Yet.
And if you look at Samoa Joe, he was absolutely a WWE product, but he wasn't that big a name there. He was a mid-card guy and an announcer.
Well, was he a WWE product or was he a TNA product?
He was a TNA product, but I mean, people know him from WWE, but
sure, but
he wasn't
in the same way they know Rusev.
No, but you look at how much money did he make, not in his own wallet, but how much money did he make as a wrestler for a company in WWE? He sold more tickets and merch and moved the needle more in TNA and Ring of Honor. In WWE, he wasn't that much of an impact player in their business.
He wasn't. And thusly, as an AEW champion, he didn't drive numbers with casual fans. He did fine. Like his numbers weren't sinking during his segments, but they weren't jumping up like MJF's, and very few people's were. Kenny Omega gets a bump. Will Ospreay gets a little bit of a bump numbers wise. Swerve actually gets a little bit of a bump. Hangman's numbers were worse than Swerve's. Like you just look at the quarter hours and the writing is there. But guess what? Hangman didn't do a tour in WWE like Swerve did. You got to know that those extra numbers, those extra couple 100,000 on the end of that number are not the hardcore wrestling fans. And thusly, if you're talking about ratings and you're talking about numbers, their opinion doesn't matter. They're either watching or not watching, and it's not based on what's on the program. It's just not. It's those 100,000 casuals. It's those CM Punk fans that he's got 100,000 solid people that will watch just for him no matter what. Wherever he goes, there's 100,000 extra eyeballs. He's proven it time and time again. And MJF probably has 60 to 70,000 that watch because they know MJF is going to cut a promo or he's going to be on the show.
And at least MJF has some other mainstream. I mean, he got that Happy Gilmore film. And,
yes. But this is also why it's amazing because when you look at it, everybody else at AEW who's ever been able to do it came from WWE. He didn't.
What's Toni Storm's numbers like?
They're good. She doesn't ever have dips. She normally gets a little, 2 or 3% bump.
I mean, she's another WWE kind of.
She got the screen time with him.
That I think of Toni Storm as an AEW wrestler more than anything else now. But yes, he did come with some WWE clout, and Mercedes numbers are actually pretty good.
That's the one.
But everyone in the IWC hated on her in those early segments, but her numbers were fine.
Yeah, well,
she was such a great signing.
But at the same point in time, it's like we're not getting what we pay for. I look at the $30 paywall for ESPN, and then I look at what pay-per-views we've gotten on ESPN, and I'm thinking to myself, no, there's been some good stuff. And then I think back and I'm like, wait a minute, half of that was on Saturday night's main events. Oh, which by the way is the other network you got to have. You got to have NBC or Peacock to get those.
I thought NBC or Peacock was also the USA for SmackDown. Isn't there?
Well, I mean, it's all in Peacock, but it's licensed. Main event or Saturday night's main event is
NBC.
NBC.
Oh God. Okay, I get it. So it's Peacock. You need Peacock, but you can watch it.
Peacock gives you the NBC programming, so
got it.
You can get it there, but it is sold to NBC. But it's just I don't know, man, and the storylines and what they're giving us, I just think for the price. Like WWE, you can be the number one game in town. You have the talent, you have the writers, you have the glitz and the glamour and the gloss, but I think they've got to straighten some things out. And I think that right now you're already hearing these stories from backstage coming out where people feel like Triple H is turning into Vince. He's shuffled the deck on the entire WrestleMania card now, part of it for other reasons, but there's a lot of complaints coming from backstage. And people are not feeling good about their storylines. They're not feeling good about the direction of the company. They're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And then now he's also letting talent do crazy things like Cody and Drew rewriting their whole storyline and them deciding that Cody was going to drop the belt and Triple H going, yeah, that idea works for me. But then not even doing it at a big pay-per-view event. And we're just going into WrestleMania season with this lackluster thing. It's like, okay, I don't mind that, but at the same time, like, I hope you know that I'm not paying for that. Like, if we're talking dollars to my entertainment factor, like, if you can make it go somewhere and give me something from it, maybe I'll buy some popcorn in an arena. But I'm not like Raw was here in Cleveland. I didn't even think about going, and then I saw that somebody had given me free tickets.
I thought about that. Like, why didn't you? Because when they said, "Oh, we're live in Cleveland," I'm like, "Wait a minute."
There's no comps anymore. I got plenty of friends over there, but not a single one of them can get me a free ticket, and I'm not paying $400. And I've gotten too many good free seats comped to me, or been treated like royalty at different wrestling events, including WWE, that it's real hard for me to A, sit in the cheap seats, or B, pay $800 or $900 for not even a floor ticket.
I feel you.
So another question I have is, like, there was a lot of down years when Vince was there in terms of just lackluster 9 months until Mania season kicked off, right? But I think for a lot of it, they delivered during Mania season. Even if the rest of the year was terrible, from Royal Rumble on, they aced it because they had to sell their big show. How many times can you deliver a lackluster marquee PLE before people start going, you know, is this still a marquee PLE? You know, because I think Royal Rumble was very underwhelming. And if you go into WrestleMania and it becomes another underwhelming show, and right now I have the feeling that I really have a pretty good feeling that I can confidently say that night one of WrestleMania is going to be very underwhelming, because they always backload the really interesting stuff on night two anyways. And so now you have to do two very entertaining shows, which is really already hard to do, and they're not lining it up very well. And so I would be very, very surprised if night one of the WrestleMania is, you know, anything but mid. You know,
I will say wrestling.
McDonald's.
Wrestling, I think, has the what?
WWE is McDonald's.
Yeah, but McDonald's has had sales. Like, they're still McDonald's, but I don't eat it.
Have you ever heard of the McRib? That shit is good.
I don't know if McDonald's is. I don't think WWE is McDonald's, because McDonald's has consistency.
You know, I think it's now overpriced.
Eat a fillet of fish from McDonald's now or in 1985, and it's the same damn thing.
I think McDonald's is WWE in the sense that a hamburger at McDonald's is the McDonald's flavor and in texture and all that stuff. It's a McDonald's burger, and a lot of people do like it. But if you were to objectively compare a McDonald's burger to an actual hamburger, you'll see that they are not the same. This is not a real hamburger.
I get the analogy, but I'll put it to you this way. WWE is still fast food, but right now they're Jack in the Box, and I don't eat Jack in the Box.
I love Jack in the Box.
McDonald's every now and then I'll eat
Jack in the Box
and be okay.
Harvey's,
with it.
that's what you're saying.
I gained 20 pounds in college on Jack in the Box, so I will not say a bad thing about them.
I kind of am in on the McDonald's analogy, just in the sense that, like, I think McDonald's was a lot bigger deal for a long time. Are they still like the American thing, the same brand, everything like that? But I think after like that Super Size Me thing, I think Super Size probably did a number on them in terms of numbers.
But you know what it turned out to be? And by the way, rest in peace, Morgan Spurlock. It turned out, because like it's a calories game. You can actually eat at McDonald's and lose weight as long as you eat the right amount. All the things that he was going through in that documentary was withdrawal because he was an alcoholic.
I guess my point is from a brand specific point is after Super Size Me, it became this kind of like McDonald's is like nah. And I can say that I eat McDonald's maybe like once a year now. It's not like a staple. Like, you know, when people say, let's go to McDonald's, I'm like, I don't know. Are we going to McDonald's?
WWE's like McDonald's because once a year you watch WrestleMania.
Well, it could become that.
And the Rumble.
McDonald's is a cautionary tale for somebody that held the entire market.
5 times the price it used to be.
You know, and
Actually,
at some point, people
at Costco
just kind of, I mean, you can see how your brand can take a turn if you underdeliver a few too many times. You know,
I do want to really bland. They're not exciting. They're just this kind of. They look like an IKEA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But I do want to bring up though that wrestling, like we hold wrestling to such a high esteem, at least certain companies, because we look back with what is it? It's nostalgia, rose-colored glasses, and so you look back and you go, "Oh, WWE is the best." I grew up on that, and you think about 5 cool things that happened out of 2, 3, you know, in some people's cases, like Justin's 5 decades of watching it. And so, but you cherry pick things.
I think you can look back at eras.
So it's
I think you can look back at eras though.
I don't think the problem is so much that they're missing in creative, because they're going to all wrestling companies doing all wrestling in general. It's kind of a bad source of storytelling entertainment. There's just a big lack of continuity, a lack of follow through, and a lack of what makes sense. Sometimes you have a big already gimmick show, and then you're like, what else do we need? Let's put a luchador's uncle in a really bad chicken costume, and he's going to hop out of an egg. What show does that make sense on? There's no medium where that makes sense. So, but I think the issue is, do they have their bag of tricks? What's left in the bag of tricks to get sales back up?
The rabbit's
dead. I think you can underdeliver 9 months out of the year, because WWE has done that historically. I think it's less about moments and sometimes about eras. Like, there have been really good eras in WWE that draw people back in. I think there was a good era, sort of, as much as I ragged on the Bloodline thing was like good for points of it, you know?
They should call it the Sami Zayn storyline.
Yes. Yeah, when Sami Zayn entered, it refreshed that one. It was, and that's exactly what it was. But my point is, it's like you can underdeliver for like 9 months out of the year. It's tough to put on a wrestling show with the amount of hours that they're putting into it and keep everything original. But generally speaking, once you hit the marquee paper PLEs like Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, they pulled out their bag of tricks.
Yes.
And right now, at least after that Rumble, there was not a whole lot of bag of tricks that they pulled out. And so I guess I just don't think you can underdeliver in the time, because when you talk about casuals, when do casuals mostly tune into WWE?
That's right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
They're the Royal Rumble, they're going over to their friend's house, they haven't watched it in years, and maybe they see something, they're like, wow, that's great, or WrestleMania. But if you underdeliver, it's just, then it becomes a thing like, well, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I wasting? Because the other point is, like, WrestleMania is a commitment. That's a 2-day event. That's a huge, you want to talk about AEW pay-per-views, a 2-day PLE?
Yeah.
I mean, and if it's not delivering,
but they're both gonna be like 2 hours, so it's gonna be.
There'll
4
be 2 hours, 3 matches.
That would be.
I think we made this point last year, right? Didn't we say that was gonna be the problem?
Yeah, we did.
But and maybe the segues to the next topic.
So the decadence has been there for a while.
What are the bag of tricks? What's in the bag of tricks that WWE has left? They did the Rocky thing. I don't think they could get Rocky back this year. You're not going to bring Cena back. Cena, his return wouldn't be worth anything now. I mean, if he comes back for anything, even like a special guest referee, down the road, that's something they could cash in on. Stone Cold, I don't know if it's in the cards for him to do anything at WrestleMania. Like Taker isn't Taker anymore. I don't think he's a draw as a wrestler. He's a podcast host who,
right. But TKO has said that they want to invest in this new wave of talent. It's not about those surprises anymore. It's not about the Vince nostalgia anymore, and that's fine. But then you've got to write storylines for these kids that make sense.
Which young? I mean, but who's at the top of the card?
Are you going to?
It's going to be Bron Breakker.
Powerhouse.
It's going to be Bron Breakker.
He's a.
Who's at the top of the card right now? Under the age of 40.
Bron Breakker was going to win the Royal Rumble. Something changed, and this is part of why everyone's complaining about Triple H now. There's something going on over there. I don't know if this injury was legit and it was in the works and already coming, and that's why he shuffled the deck. But everyone says, and I
made a couple of phone calls. To be honest, I made a couple of phone calls, and I was like, nope, not Bron, not happening.
But it was Bron originally.
Yeah, so I canceled that. Yeah.
You canceled it. I was gonna say because
you did. It was the early birthday present for me.
No one from WWE has disputed that it was Bron at all.
The honest truth is that they needed to hot shoot Obi because that dude is a draw. That dude is a draw. They need to treat him like young Brock Lesnar coming into the main event because that dude's a draw. And you tell me that they're going to try and push all these young guys. The top of the card is still everybody over 40 years old. Cody Rhodes, over 40 years old. Drew McIntyre, over 40 years old. CM Punk, over 40 years old.
TRT. You can have the top of the card all be over 40 years old now. Remember Vitor Belfort when he was on TRT? That was
I understand that you can, but what you're doing it is at the cost of developing new talent behind them.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
I think though someone like Drew is new in this position because the last time he did it was during the no fan era. I think having him, if they get behind him, then it's fresh. It's giving someone, a new person, a chance at the wheel. I think I want to say I was going to say Eli Drake, LA Knight. He should get some time. They need to make. No, I don't know how much he's going to draw.
He's also
for
like
them.
45. So.
But he's also 45.
Chamber spot.
But
he could be getting the other big match.
He's a fresh face.
It's not fresh.
The guys in WWE,
though.
The guys in WWE right now that they should be pushing hard into the main event scene are like Dominic Mysterio. That dude is money. That dude is 100% money. They need to be. Those are the guys that they need to be the guys that they need to be pushing up at the top. I do not understand this idea of not using your established stars to put over your younger guys before it's too late to have like a good match.
Well, I think the problem is you've got two mentalities in WWE. I think that, honest to God, TKO would actually agree with you, Bear. I think they are the ones pushing the Trick Williams and the Jade Cargills and the Oba Fimis and this new talent and the Joe Hendrys and all of these guys. I think they see that, like, man, what we need is these guys to be the next Stone Colds and Rocks and this, that, and the other thing. And they look at the salaries too, and it's like, while you're developing them, if you invest in those guys and only one or two hit, you're still paying them a third of what you're paying some of those other guys and your Randy Ortons and these other guys that you're not getting a ton out of, except paying them a bunch of money to show up. And they draw, but if you can build new draws, you're in a better spot.
You could honestly save them for your bag of tricks that everybody keeps asking about.
But cautionary tales.
I don't know.
Cautionary tales. Jey Uso's title run. Jey Uso's title run.
No, we don't need to.
No one cares. No. Byron, shut up.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to get this out now. Right. So you put Dom Mysterio in the title now. Okay. You give him the title. What happens to him in a year? Nothing. And then what happens to him after that? Nothing. So you've ruined a career that you could have got a lot more out of down the line. You can't just put people into the title shot and title picture because they're popular or whatever. Because what happens is, inevitably with the WWE, because they don't know how to handle it, is careers are ruined. And you never.
With certain people, I think it can work. I think with Rick Williams, I think
if they're talented enough, if they can grab the brass ring, they can get over. Dominic Mysterio is 100% that can get over at the top of the card. He is charismatic enough He is talented enough that he could. I don't even know if you necessarily have to put
But
him
what will they
title
do
on
with
him.
it? What will they do with it?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
He would fade after a while because he'd have to be a slime ball champ and for it to really work. You're not gonna believe Dom as a world beater. Trick is the perfect one though, because you got the opposite problem with Oba. You put Oba in the title and people are going to be bored with it because he does have to be a world beater the whole time. He can't not be a world beater. And the second he's not a world beater, he's Omos. Like, you don't care. But with Trick Williams can get up there, look credible as a world beater, but then get beat because he's a little green or young or whatever. He can come in and out, just like when we had The Rock when he was young. Trick can be that next guy. He can be a young Rock. He can be like, one of those Attitude Era type stars that can come in and out of the very top of the picture. I think that LA Knight might be able to do it once or twice. I know you guys don't want him to. I think that he might be able to do it once or twice. I don't know if they'll ever pull the trigger on him, though. He rubs people the wrong way in the office sometimes.
If they gave him the belt, all these fans who have been clamoring it for years would soon realize, oh, this is tapioca.
But you have to build up. You have to do what AEW is doing right now and build up a bunch of guys that can be kind of incredible at the same time. It's not about if anybody cares about AEW. I look at like SmackDown when they were developing.
No, I don't care about it, but it's the thing of this is the problem with wrestling. You look at like the era of SmackDown when they were building up John Cena, right? When they were trying to come up with the new crop of guys that were going to replace the old crop of guys. You had Eddie Guerrero, you had Undertaker, you had Brock Lesnar as a guy that was coming up, you had John Cena that was a guy that was coming up, you still had Kurt Angle there. You had a bunch of guys that were credible enough that if you had your younger guys in the mix, they were becoming credible by just being in the mix. But so a couple of things. TV's not like that anymore. WWE's not like that anymore, and they haven't got the talent. They haven't got 20 people on SmackDown who you would say, "Oh my god, they
Ben McNeil off."
Just because, like, charisma and, like I said, most of the way that WWE is put together now isn't about, Eddie Guerrero getting given the chance to run with it. They just won't do that. And even if they do, what happens after, they don't have a plan for.
Well, that's on them to figure it out. I mean, that is not like, that shouldn't be an acceptable answer for the biggest wrestling company in the world.
But I'm saying, but like,
it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It should not be the acceptable answer.
If you put Dom Mysterio in the title picture now, you are sacrificing what you can get out of him for 10 years for maybe a year worth of stuff.
Here's the thing, Meef. I can tell you, if you want Dominic Mysterio to be the face of the company, then maybe he should use some Hommeface. Come on, Tony, you love that segue. Come on, you love it.
It's fine.
We got to talk about Hommeface because look, I haven't even opened my package yet. I got that open. Handy dandy. Can I do this, Byron? What happens if I do this?
You do whatever you want to do.
Oh, look at that. I got the new Hommeface. What do they call this? The Skincare Essentials Travel Kit. So Byron and I talked about this forever. Of like, oh man, I got all this Hommeface stuff, but it was all this size. It's all like you put 4 of these kind of things in your travel bag, and all of a sudden you forget to put that cologne your old lady likes in there. Like it's no bueno. So they came up with this travel kit jam, and it's super dope, and it's got all the stuff that I actually use in it, which makes me really, really happy. You get the handy dandy Hommeface bag. The H is silent. That's a silent H there. Hommeface, because it's French for man face. So what do we got in here? We got that's number 2. I should probably start with number 1, right? That's number 3. Where's my number 1? There's number 1. So number 1. So you got the Paquito size here compared to this size over here. This is the travel size right here. This is the daily face wash. This is my jam. Don't wash my face with anything else. I use regular soap. I get all dry and scaly. That's not the way to go, man. This is the stuff right here. And then let's see. We got Where's number 2? And they're numbered, so you know what order to use them in. So you'd give yourself a nice, clean little face wash there, and then you hit yourself with the toner. This stuff is magic. I got to tell you, so you spritz it. I usually do like 4, maybe 5 spritzes. I get like a couple of nice spritzes. It starts to open up the pores. All of a sudden, everything is feeling crisp. I call it the crispinator juice. I don't even know what it's supposed to do other than it makes my face look great and feel amazing. And like the blackheads and the zits and all those things. Do you see them? You see any? Nope, because there are none anymore. All right. And then after that, there's number 3. There's a new number 3, which is the Age Defense Serum, also known as Magic Potion. Look at this junk, y'all. Literally, I will be 51 years old in a month. 51. You know what, CK?
That's true.
Love them. We're going to talk about them some more. 51. I'm not afraid to tell you my age anymore. You want to know why? Because no one can guess it. No one thinks that I'm 51 freaking years old. They think I'm Bear's age. How old are you, Bear?
37.
Okay, yeah. They think I'm Bear's age.
You son of a...
People think I'm 28.
37?
So.
And then you can't have a happy ending. You can't finish off without cream. You got a cream to finish. And that's what you do with your number 4 right there. You hit it up with the moisturizer. It is cocoa butter of the gods. Can we call it that?
Smell it.
It's amazing. And it just smooths everything out. It gives you that, it gives you the glow. It's like you're Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon. You have got the power of the glow. Does it smell? Does it have? Yeah, it's got a nice little...
They all have nice smells.
Like a little pine, like, soft scent.
Bit of mint in there, maybe.
Herbal spray, facial wash.
Witch hazel, that's what it is. I love witch hazel.
And I think we got a free gift with this one too. I got also...
You got sunscreen.
I got the sunscreen, which is delicious. Byron uses the hell out of the sunscreen because he's gonna just burn in the sunlight.
I have to use it every day. If you don't use your sunscreen, then there's no sense doing skincare. You're undoing everything. And by the way, this company is I know the name is Hommeface, but it is a Korean company. These are all K-beauty secrets. Korean sunscreen is the best sunscreen you can wear. That is a fact of life. So you want this stuff.
Yes. So the thing you need to know, if you go to hommeface.com right now, that's HOMMEFACE.com. The H is silent. If you go to hommeface.com right now and use our code MMM20, you will get 20% off. But you got to use our code. You got to let us get those numbers so we keep our wonderful sponsor, Hommeface, so you can keep getting the big question, the Hommeface Big Question every week. If you help us out and get some goodness for your face. And these are genuinely products that we used before we ever had the sponsorship. This is a company that we truly believe in because this stuff works. It's the jam. Visit hommeface.com, use our code MMM20. And also right now, because we're feeling super generous, not only will you get 20% off, you're going to get free shipping. Just remember, Hommeface offers the best in class skin, hair, body care solutions for men. Hombres, for us guys, powered by K-Beauty Technology. HF products are all 100% vegan, Leaping Bunny certified, cruelty-free, and crafted with clean, skin-friendly ingredients. And for a limited time only, use that MMM20 code, get that 20% off, and your free shipping. Now I got to turn off the music. It was fun while it lasted.
Oh,
everyone likes to see that, but that's the trick. We keep you hanging around for the fun music.
I can't wait until the next Hommeface.
I like to say machismo.
Byron, have you opened a package from Mandeep yet?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I would. Yes, you got to use the cream though if you want that. And Rebecca knows I don't look a day over. I look a day over 30, but only like 1 day over 30. Anyway, it's time for another new segment. I'm gonna call this segment Four Corners. This is the Four Corners segment.
There's five of us.
Doing the four corner segment is we're
I have
going
a
to talk
question.
about.
I'm the referee.
How does this make sense? There's five of us. What are even the rules?
It's not a match,
You know,
Byron. It's four corners because we're going to talk about the different corners of wrestling. It's going to give you a chance to talk about Japan, asshole.
Not anymore.
I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, Byron. So we are going to 4. You're dropped.
3 corners.
It's the 3. No, so this is the four corner segment where we talk about the stuff that's going on in some different promotions. We have some little bitty tidbits. I'm going to stay in the WWE world for just a moment because
Oh, bastard.
I got to talk about this CM Punk thing that we ran into on Monday. I found it very odd. We finally get a WrestleMania match. We got one freaking thing out of the Royal Rumble, which was we got this Roman Reigns CM Punk thing. And I was like, at first I was like, but then I was like, okay, you know what? No, that's actually good. I'm happy they didn't go back to Cody with Roman or Brock or some other crap. Like, this is good. And it's weird because it's 2 tweener type characters. There's no established heel. Roman feels like maybe he's hitting the heel thing a little more. And obviously in Chicago, that'll probably be the case. But I think there's also cities where CM Punk would be clearly seen as the heel and Roman would be seen as the face. I think it's an interesting dynamic. I think they can have fun playing with it. I thought the promos that they did where they buried the shit out of Drew and SmackDown were good and interesting. We talked about it last week. If you want to hear our thoughts,
And he has not recovered from that, by the way.
No, he had an interesting promo we can talk about a little bit too. But more importantly, they do this thing. They've had this storyline with Finn Balor where he got spurned for the Royal Rumble and he's been going back and forth with Pierce. And then there's this weird masked attacker thing going on and other crap that, has been adjacent to, different, all sorts of weird stuff going on. But then all of a sudden you get Finn Balor where he's talked his way into a match with the fighting champion CM Punk. And I get now part of the Roman Reigns promo that they cut the week before was to set CM Punk for this moment where he can basically be like, no, but I'm a defending champion. That's part of why they did that. Whereas Roman is this part-time guy and, he's just the big star that shows up whenever he wants to. CM's the fighting champion. But also, I don't get the marketing here. We finally get one thing on the card. You're telling, on the corporate side, you're saying we need to sell more tickets. Triple H has finally got a match announced, and now we're saying that the match is in jeopardy for a couple of weeks to get us to Elimination Chamber? How does this make any freaking sense?
Are we saying it's in jeopardy?
Or we're saying it's not, and there's no reason for the match.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's a pay-per-view, so you have to have a match, but
so is this an exhibition match? Is that the way we all feel?
Yes.
I think it's a predetermined match that
everyone wants the
predetermined.
I mean, they're all predetermined, but
no, I know, but I think
this one might be a little more predetermined than the other ones.
Wrestling is not real.
This one may or not be a little bit of we already know the outcome,
Well, there's these matches when you have Canelo and he's fighting some dude from England. Sorry, Myth. And how that's gonna end, right?
On a PLE though.
Yeah, 50 million people watching and all that shit. Yeah, of course. What do you mean? Like he had a string of 4 matches where he just beat up some dude from England. And sorry, I'm sorry. I'm not. It's not personal. Just statistically,
it is.
No, it's not. Shut up.
He's literally
because I love Canelo.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being real, right? So this is the same thing. Right? If AEW can have their Andy Reese moments and have a champion be beat up out of the blue, then you can have this, he's gonna go down second round. You know what I mean? It's just that's and you will get your moment because you will see a pretty cool match. That's it.
Wait, you know what? I agree with you, Ben. I don't know that I don't know that Roman is going to
Punk
win.
is
but I would
Canelo,
like-
evidently. Yes.
I would like for Roman to win this match against CM Punk because I like Raw better, and I want the world title to mean more than what it used to mean. And I think if you put it on Roman for a little while, it helps that. And I also think that CM Punk is old and somebody's likely to breathe on him and he'll break in some fashion pretty soon. So I don't know if I ever see, I like CM Punk being a champ every now and then, but I don't want to see him be a long-term plan at any point in time because I think he's just going to break. And I
How
was
many more
at one of those
triceps
weird,
does he have left to tear?
I mean,
You
I
don't
want
wanna see
weird
vacant?
matches in Cleveland with CM Punk and John Moxley where Punk dropped to Mox or some weirdness. And
You're not ready for another vacant championship reign?
Yeah,
That'd be
well,
exciting, actually. If they
let's
did,
not
like,
go
an actual
too far,
tournament
Daniel.
for
I don't-
a thingy belt. That would actually be better than, and that could give you all you wanted, which was putting people into the title picture.
I would love it.
Actually, a tournament
Yeah.
might actually be helpful.
You guys all love the Demon. I had a great idea for the Demon a while back where what
Never see it
I
again.
wanted to see was I wanted to see Finn use the Demon and the Demon would keep getting the wins, but the Demon was actually draining him in a way and go with a little Lucha Underground-esque semi-supernatural thing, you know, and have one of the other Irish people tell him like, Finn, you got to stop messing with that.
Can you do it
what's
in an
gonna happen.
Irish accent though? Can you do whatever?
Oh, you know who should have? They
I
should have
could,
brought
though.
back. What's his name?
Hornswoggle.
Yes,
Yes.
that's exactly. It should have been Hornswoggle. Yes.
But whatever, but I mean, like, you really could have played that where,
It's the ancient demon of the Gaelic Isles.
like
It's
every
taking your
time,
soul, boy.
every time he used the Demon, yes, he would get the win, he'd be phenomenal, but then it was draining Finn Balor in some way, and you could have actually played
what?
with that and done something.
You
fun
want
with it.
him to look weak every week after week and just like get like dark.
Well,
dark
the way that
bad.
the way
Cost
he-
to it,
the
like
way-
explain to us why he's not always the Demon. If the Demon
Well,
always
yeah.
fucking wins, why would you not always go out as the Demon?
The way Finn
guys
talked
love
about
the
it on
Demon,
that
right?
Cody podcast was he used to do that sort of thing, get all painted up to be a cool little gimmick, a cool thing to do for some big matches. And then WWE took it and made it a entirely new persona that could never lose. And it really pigeonholed what you could do with Finn Balor and the Demon character and all that stuff.
But that's
So
why I just
it's-
came up with a way you could do it. So yes,
Yeah.
the Demon wins, but if
No.
it
The
sucks his
solution is
soul.
the solution is as
See, Brekker
is
likes it.
Demon versus Dark Iguana. That's it. That's all. That's all.
Brekker
That's all
more
what
likes
people
the
want.
idea. Finlay.
If you, there's no way he's coming out as a demon, right? Because then if he lost as the demon, it would be.
He
you know.
already lost to the Demon. He lost to Bray Wyatt as a Demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the better entity, right? Was he?
Did he
wasn't he
lose
the
the cross
Fiend
as
at
the
that point?
demon?
What?
Did he lose the cross as the demon?
No.
He wasn't doing it anymore by
No.
then.
No.
No. I think he's saving that for a bag of trips when he actually has a chance of winning a title.
Well, I mean, if he's going to Mania, maybe he pulls out the Demon or something. But
I think when he ends up wrestling for a different company that wants to give him a main event run.
Whoa!
end of the
Spoiler.
contract.
Whoa! Wow.
What?
Have you
New
heard
Japan.
anything we haven't heard of?
No, I just, I mean, come on. At some point, he's
Speaking
gonna
of
go
news.
and he's gonna. He'll go. I don't know.
I was
I'm not
kidding. You don't have to
saying
get
AEW.
nervous. What the fuck
I'm
was
just
that?
saying-
Hot take, guys. You heard
What
it here
the hell?
first.
He should go
Finn
back
Balor
to Japan. Win the
is all-
Oh,
IWGP.
no, not Japan. Let's move on.
somebody's got to
TNA.
go there because there seems to be a bit of an exodus potentially coming here. Byron, what's going on over in New Japan? Explain this
Yeah.
to me, please.
Yeah, but I mean, you had people getting poached years ago, and that was just a matter of dollar versus yen, and the economy not doing so great in Japan. But now you have
This is a part
more
of the show where you
wrestlers.
can go and get a hot dog and a Coca-Cola and go to the bathroom. Go ahead.
Just yeah, I'm reading stuff about politics.
I mean, it's not all that interesting. It's like upper mid card guys, and it's talent that I think is still good, but they're not. I don't think there's them switching companies is going to be something to write home about. Like Evil is might land somewhere here in the States if he goes to WWE. I don't know what the point of that will be.
Do you think that Evil can be, a top mid card guy or can land somewhere big? Like, if they on SmackDown, there's a lot of New Japan on SmackDown now.
I mean, he could work in Japan and other companies, but in WWE, they can hire him and have him go out there and do a few matches a month or whatever. And, he could be someone that gets a paycheck there. I don't know how WWE would use someone like him in the current Evil incarnation. Beforehand, when he was sort of a upper mid card workhorse in LIJ, it was a little bit better. He had good matches then too. But you have a guy like David Finlay who's really been doing great things in Japan, but he's been earning capital in Japan, and I don't know how that translates here in an American company. He also curses a lot. He has an edge to him. That isn't a WWE style. Are they going to change his name to Michael McGillicuddy or some dumb thing like that?
Yes, is the answer. Yes, they are.
So it's just, they're going to be moving, and I'm glad that they get a good paycheck. And, I'm happy for every wrestler to make $1, and especially happy if they can make $1 without landing on their neck.
That's half. You only want them to make $1, you evil bastard.
Well, and a handshake. And, but yeah, it's just they're leaving. So and I think AEW is grabbing Gabe Kidd and Connor.
But didn't Andrade just beat Gabe Kidd? Aren't they both basically AEW guys now? Like,
they're both, but they're both sort of. I don't know what the War Dogs thing is yet. There's rumors that they're going to sign, but they've been doing cameos. Andrade is free agenting. I think he's trying to get as many big wins around the world as possible. I think that's smart for him and everyone that's booking him. I think it's exciting that he's going after the global belt. I think that's a good follow through of what the purposes of the global and the IWGP belts are for. The global is kind of like the top belt that an outsider can fight for.
Okay,
great. So, that's awesome. They're following through. It makes sense. It feels still like a main event match. It still feels like the top guy in a company is defending a top belt against Andrade, who's probably the hottest in the industry right now, I think.
Well, he's the hottest he's been, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know what something about Andrade is just absolutely working right now.
His
clicking.
work is
He's
crisp.
clicking.
He's clicking.
His work is so crisp right now, and he figured out how to cut a promo that isn't just hilarious, like when he's feuding with Darby or Sting or whatever, and he has, he says stuff which is hilarious, but it doesn't make you take him more seriously. And now he's delivering across the board.
Yes, he's just not so good when other people are delivering for him. Like, and what the hell? I don't know what bucket of Swerve's spray tan that Don fell into tonight. But if you saw the neckline, it was like bright white, and everything up here was like somebody smeared a turd on his face. I don't know what Don was doing with the spray tan, but it was MJF Bron Breakker levels of bad.
Oh wow. I didn't see that part.
It was
I
not
saw
the
the
red.
promo,
It was
but
not
I
the
didn't look at him.
the fluorescent orange spray tan, but it was
Right.
like Don. I know it's Black History Month and all, but brother, you were taking this a step too far.
Mean throw.
Tony's there. Tony Khan's there, spraying everybody as they go out.
We're gonna have to
miss
call him Don Raheem Callis.
I miss when they used to ham up his scar. They've not been doing that as much, but that was always fun.
I gotta tell you, the scar wasn't as hammed up as you might think. The scar was pretty friggin' bad.
But I think at some point they're hamming it up a little bit.
I don't know, man. I saw Don when he came in on the airplane at the airport one day, and
kayfabe.
Actually, the other way.
It was
kayfabe.
Pretty gruesome. Like, it was one of those, "Hi Don, how you doing? Hi, what's going on, man?" Like,
it's deep. That's what
you
I'm saying.
didn't want to look at it. Plus, he's blowing cigarette smoke in everyone's face like he always does.
Oh god,
he smokes like 17 packs of cigarettes a day. Still, anyway, let's go to some other little parts of the wrestling
because that was our version of that Young Bucks match That's just
That
what
was-
happened in this segment.
Thanks. That was
So-
not even the stuff that I found interesting in Japan.
Oh,
and
God,
wanted to talk
no.
about.
Jesus
Well, I know, but you
fucking
wanted to
Christ.
save that for your pop of the week. Wink, wink, Byron.
Oh, then why? I didn't need to say
That's a
any of that
reminder.
stuff.
But
No
look,
one
let
cares about mid carders changing companies.
me
No
tell you.
offense.
You do, Byron. And
I want to
and
talk briefly
AEW.
about TNA, and I don't want to talk about the actual product. What I want to talk about is the numbers.
Oh.
AEW Collision had a bit of a dip this week, and they were at 388 when they were up at like almost 500 last week. But the amazing thing is that in a few short weeks, TNA has gotten up to 242. That's big. 242,000 viewers for TNA
For what?
on AMC is a big deal. And so I talked to some television people I know that are executives at TV companies, and I asked them what the impact of this was. And the word that I'm getting is AMC is ecstatic. This is beating the numbers of a lot of their shows. It's costing them next to nothing. And they were very smart because they did short run ad contracts, and they're going to be able to up the prices on their ads considerably in just a few months. So it's a big deal. And I don't think people realize it. This officially, if they can hold numbers like this for just a couple of weeks, even, and if they can stay above 175 in general, it is a huge success. I mean, TNA hasn't had a number like that at any point in time in the Access era or anything that they've done since they were on TNN or whatever that was, or Spike or whatever the heck.
Spike TV!
A real
Spike
TV deal. But that was also back in the days where most
Anything was
wrestling
good.
on cable did
Real thing.
way bigger numbers. We're talking like 800s and 900s, even for the shittiest shows.
Where
Well, I do have to say
ratings-
something. You said we don't want to talk about the product, but however, I was watching with my dear friend TR the other day here, and we were looking at the product. The wrestling is solid.
Yes.
Is everything else that it still hasn't clicked yet. But if those are the numbers they're getting right now, once that clicks, once the TNA makes the rest of the show click, then they're gonna have like crazy numbers plus a little bit of money, for production, all that stuff.
But I like
Yeah,
a
there
little bit
might be a
of
threat.
some of the stuff. Like, look, I thought Macklin was a little heavy-handed in some of his promo stuff, but like, so the storyline is he lost his job, but he was still backstage saying goodbye to some friends or whatever. Obviously, he didn't really get fired. It's a gimmick, guys. But I love this, and I like the way that I like the way that they're doing it, and his little backstage thing. Yeah, the production wasn't great. They shoot too close to walls. They don't light it very well. It's one guy on the
Lighting is
shoulder.
bad.
They've always done that to a certain extent, though. But
I mean,
it's
does
part of the
wrestling need to
flavor
be
and appeal
beautiful?
of the show.
Does wrestling need to be beautiful? Like,
No,
I mean,
that's what I'm
sometimes I
saying.
No,
feel-
but it has to be well lit. Right now,
Ah!
I'm well lit right now, Bear.
Wait,
Well,
look who's talking to who here about lighting.
Listen, who's
You-
talking to who about
That's
lighting
what I'm
right now?
He's an
No,
audio
TNA.
guy. He doesn't care what it looks like.
No, but
He's
I
the
like for
TNA of
me,
this
That's
group.
true.
sometimes I want just grittiness. I don't want it to feel like it's like if you're not going to be WWE, right? And you can't do the polished, super polished corporate look. Like, give me a vibe,
The
It doesn't
Aliens versus
necessarily-
Predator.
I think they did that this week. I really do, Bear. And I think that some people are vibing with it. And it's not glossy. It's not WWE Junior that some people want it to be. It's not another NXT. It
Do you remember
looks a little
ECW's
dark. As soon
promos
as they step
backstage?
out of the ring, it's dark on the mats on the floor, like because they don't have the lighting up everything around the whole ring,
Man,
and
I'm
I
gonna have
kind
to
of
watch
like that. I
TNA.
dig it.
Yeah,
Well, to be fair, if they turned on the lights in TNA, you'd see the soundstage, wouldn't you?
Well, it
They're still on
depends.
that?
I mean, these shows they've been traveling around a little bit,
Ah,
but
okay.
yeah.
But they shot like 3 in a row in like New Mexico, right?
There's
Right.
one way to do it. You
And
could,
then-
if you can do like have amazing production backstage on those things, then you lean into making it gritty and shit. You lean into what you are, and
Yeah,
make the best of
exactly.
it. So like
Exactly.
ECW backstage was like, it was interviewing someone sat on a bunch of stairs backstage.
But I
With,
gotta
like
tell
someone
you,
shining a light on their face. Like,
I gotta tell you, TNA already is doing a better job than AEW backstage to me, because they're not just cutting promos; they're actually telling stories backstage. And there's part of that I feel is missing from WWE these days. Like you watch Simon Miller do his producer gimmick where he makes fun of the backstage things, and it's so money, and it's because it's become trite, it's become ridiculous, it's become this formula thing where they're just like going through the motions backstage sometimes to fill time. They're giving you a little bit of backstory and whatever, but like I don't feel like we're building things backstage like we used to. Like,
I think Cross was the last time they were doing that.
Yeah, but yes, and it really was, and I like the stuff that Cross was doing. If they had paid it off in the ring, the problem with the Cross thing was they were only doing it backstage. Dude wrestled once in the year, but yet did 34 promos that same year. What kind of sense does that make? What wrestler do you have doing 34 promos and only wrestling on TV one time?
At the minute, they only do two things. They have the Judgment Day sat around talking, and then that's it. Well, no, they have someone walking or doing the squats.
Yeah,
backstage. That's it.
in the time that Cross was back at WWE till the time that he left, Tozawa wrestled 17 times more than Cross did on TV.
Jesus Christ,
But
Tozawa.
he's money. He's money.
17 times more. Just saying, just throwing it out there. Anyway, I think that TNA is onto something. Am I going to watch it every week? Maybe for this show, maybe to talk about it, but I'm still waiting for a little more. I didn't. Santana is doing the thing that we used to complain about with Cross sometimes, by the way, which is the yelly, screamy, frothing at the mouth thing. Like, Santana's got to give me some more nuance. I need to know who you are, Mike. I know who you are. These people need to know who you are. Okay, we got it. You went through some hard times. You survived and you came out to the other side. But what you're not giving us is the why. You're not giving us what it actually means to you. I see the emotion, but you're not explaining it. We need to know who you are as a person now, Mike. Like, give us the grit. Give us the real insight. And talk to your boy Eddie Kingston, because he manages to do this. He plays the same story. He plays the same tough guy. He does the same I'll kick your ass in an alley thing. But also, when he looks at a bottle of alcohol, you understand that there's something deeper there. And then he tells you that there's something deeper there. And then he tells you why there's something deeper there. And it can be ridiculous in certain ways, but at the same time, like, just coming out and yelling that you're the best and the toughest and you went through hard times and you deserve this moment. Okay, sure, great. That's every single wrestler ever. Right now, Mike Santana has a chance to differentiate himself and give me something new. But if Mike doesn't do that, take the belt off of him and send him back down the line. You have now and only now to do it, Mike. Period. End of story. Make a difference, make a statement, do it for your people, do it for a cause, do it for your daughter, do it for cleaning up your act, do it for God. I don't care, but explain to me why you're doing it and show it to me in your actions. Don't just come out and yell and froth at the mouth. If they can get that out of him as a champion right now, combine it with some of the stuff that Macklin's doing that I think is good work, combine it with some of the interesting stuff that's starting to get rebuilt in the women's divisions and now having Ash back and some other things, you've got something. You've got something. It can work, but you got to give me that extra flavor. You got to give me that stuff that's always set TNA apart. Now's the time to pull that stuff out. Tommy, get to writing, brother. Whoever's backstage with you, I know you don't have Gail Kim anymore. I don't know who the heck's writing that thing over there besides Tommy.
They're suing Gail Kim.
I was going to say, they are.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. She was one of the best things about that whole production. Her and Scott D'Amore and Tommy Dreamer made that show for 3.5 years. Great that nobody was watching.
They're suing her and they fired Scott.
And 2 of the 3 are gone.
Yep. And
but
poor
isn't she
Tommy's
like a
over there.
full-blown car crash? I remember a lot of shit came out last time about her.
Yep. Okay, Tony. Sir Tony Allen. It's now time for this week's not so new segment. Let's take a look at Lucha Libre.
Oh,
we gotta
right,
talk about
everybody.
from AAA, and normally we would have done it sooner, but WWE is just such a hot mess. I just had to get it off my chest.
Well, before we get to that, I just want to say something real quick because it does relate to that. Like now,
Yeah.
I believe, honestly, I think the hottest wrestling show right now is AAA.
I was gonna say
Even
JCW.
Even though they're just giving us 1 hour a week, like Justin was like, "Wait a minute, is this over?" Yes,
well, they're giving us less every week. It was like a 2-hour
It
show,
is
and then it
less
was an
every
hour and a
week.
half show. Now it's an hour show.
Well, I'll tell you why. There's two reasons for that, but before we get to that part, there is something to be said and analyzed about the fact that the cheaper, smaller productions are the best ones right now, and they're like rising really fast. Like AAA, TNA. If these numbers stay, and that's because the totem, the big company, the massive, giant is slacking. People look for what they want, and they might change the channel and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna give it a try." And it's all about availability. If you are able to watch this easily, you will start watching it every week. Which brings me to CMLL. Okay, so thank you, Daniel. I don't know what's going on.
I love how you stumped yourself already. You're just like,
It's going really well.
He's
choosing
his words.
So we here at the channel, we decided to pay for the highest tier of the CMLL YouTube subscription.
And some of us are waiting for Tony to figure it out, and then we will watch when he figures out when I'm supposed to watch.
Thank you. I'm the guinea pig here. So it is very complicated. I'm not gonna lie. They put on 3 different 2-hour shows, and it is kind of hard to figure out which one is the main show because there is. So they're all great exhibition matches, and I love everything about it, but there is no defined show that it matters most. Friday usually should be the most important one because that's the one that they cut and put on TV, on Mexican aired TV or cable on Saturday, the next day. But even then, they moved it from 3:30 to 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then it got reduced from 1 hour and a half to 1 hour, and then just 1 hour again at 6 o'clock. And I think that's why AAA was like, well, if these guys are doing 1 hour, maybe we should just do 1 hour ourselves. I mean, what are we even fighting? But also, there's the Olympics, the Winter Olympics are on those channels because they're not the main channels in Mexico, right? And Tubi Fox, whatever, it has the rights for the Olympic Games, for the Winter Olympic Games. So that's what it got reduced also a lot. And if you watch it on YouTube, then they only put on whatever they had on the TV channel. So they don't do any overruns, anything like that.
Right.
We will try to figure it out. You should watch I will do, I don't know, like a review version on Sundays of this, so that you can try to figure out and follow through. But there is a problem that there is really no set storyline per se on CMLL, where AAA does have that. So I don't know. It's kind of a little confusing there.
Well, and I get that, but look, I think we understand that if you're watching CMLL, you want to see the tradition, you want to see some just great lucha libre, you want to see certain performers that are marquee names, and they're really just going on a Rudo's Technico system of storytelling. This guy's got a dark mask with an evil theme, he's a bad guy. This guy's got a colorful mask with some white in it, and he's a Technico. It's just, it's very simplistic, old school, and I think that works for some people. But
they did used to create characters specifically to be the anti of the other person, which was in itself a storyline.
Yeah. And you can rely on that. But I feel like, for me, AAA is going to the circus and seeing, a trapeze act, and it's death-defying. It's awesome. I'm gonna like it every single time. But when I go home, what am I going to tell you about? I'm going to tell you about the high spot. I'm going to tell you like, hey, I saw this thing at the circus where they did this thing and there was no net and it was really, really cool and I loved it. But then there's not a reason for me to go back next week. It's probably going to be a similar thing. It's going to be another high spot, and that's it. It's the circus performance. It's not episodic television.
You meant CMLL.
And that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
CMLL.
I mean, maybe it doesn't need to be episodic television. It's its own style. It's its own product.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that's
Fucking
what
Mr. New Japan's
I've learned to expect.
Defending, making crap TV.
Well,
But the
in a
problem for
way,
me is, what's there to bring me back every week? Just another cool high spot?
If you had a
Wrestle
good time,
Kingdom.
then you'll go back to have a good time again. If that's
yeah,
what
but
you
that's
want to
in
watch.
person, though.
It's
That's
easy
in
to say,
person, though.
I don't like how they're doing this thing, so they're not doing a thing to bring me back in, because it's obviously not your taste. But it's some people's taste, and they keep selling out arenas, and they keep.
I get it, but
They're in
look,
business,
dude,
though.
if I like Wicked the musical, and they do a live version and put it on TV, and I watch it, and I'm like, okay, that was a great live version of Wicked the musical on TV. Am I gonna watch Wicked again the next week, even if they put 2 changes in the second act?
The thing
It's
is
still
Byron,
Wicked.
as well, is you can go on
I don't
about
know.
selling out arenas, but firstly, I think, what are they, like $8, Tony, for some of the tickets?
Where
On
in
CMLL?
Mexico?
CMLL.
Yeah.
They're doing
Well, I
like-
mean,
You can see
that's
up in the
another thing.
nosebleeds.
No. That's another thing. Now, it is getting expensive too, because it's catering to the foreigners that go to Mexico
tourists.
City, and yeah, the tourists. And now even famously Máscara Dorada, shout out to him. He said that now you see people well dressed in the front row instead of like some people that it was terrible coming, by the way, and then instead of some gardener or a guy cleaning the streets that will come in and just watch the show, and that
But
is
that's
even
also mostly at Arena Mexico. I mean, they do other venues too, where it's more
Yeah,
for the common
Coliseo.
people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Their traveling show, the tickets for that are stupidly cheap. When they're saying they're doing 20,
Yeah, because they
whatever
just
it is,
pack it
thousands
out
of
and they just put on a fun show
Yeah.
and travels around. And
No, they do shows here. I don't know if it's exactly a CMLL show, but they do use the logo. Usually Hechicero is on it because he's from here, and those are dirt cheap. Like, I don't know, like $5. I mean, of course you're like all the way over there, but it's like, yeah, it is super cheap. But as a television product, which is my point every time I talk about this, it is complicated to watch. It is complicated to continue like following through, because like you say, it's like, yeah, I really like, I don't know, I like Blade Runner 2049, and I went to see it 3 times, but I didn't see it every week for the whole year, right?
Yeah.
That is the same thing. I think it's on the same level of that. That is the expectation of a theater or a movie kind of production. So you do need to have something that people will like, especially if you already have a TV show. At least cut it so that it looks serialized.
and on the other side of things, you've got AAA, which has developed this Lola, Vice, and Mr. Iguana story since right around when they did the deal with AAA and WWE. Like this
Let's not leave out the third participant in that, Justin.
What's that?
Let's not leave out the third party in that.
La Hiedra.
Well, yeah, La Esca is more like
No,
it now because La Hiedra is out of the picture now, buddy. But she got herself back in the picture this week because Chelsea Green couldn't show. She said there was some kind of injury, which I hope going into WrestleMania season isn't something serious. But Chelsea and Ethan were supposed to defend their mixed titles against Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana, and instead Chelsea didn't show, so Ethan got a new partner.
Doesn't Chelsea have a broken ankle?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. which
Yeah.
sucks.
Well,
Yeah,
also Ethan
that does
Page,
suck.
what a great job he has done, like on social media. He
Awesome.
does these lip syncs in Spanish. Man, it's just like they're like normal, memes, right? That everybody's doing here in Mexico, and then he does it, and it's just like I don't remember him speaking a lick of Spanish, but man, it's just looks like it. It's insane. It's,
That Ethan, he might be the AEW's biggest fail. Like, he's
Yeah.
really good. I always liked him.
AEW's biggest fail is still there, and his name is Scorpio Sky.
Oh man.
They keep trying to do stuff with him, and they've put him in the sky flight thing now, and this, that, and the other thing. But it's like, this dude is so talented, and he is the nicest guy in the world. And like, just they can't find a place for him to land. Like, he got some good stuff for a while when Lambert was there, and I was loving it. And then he just
when he's consistent. What was the Men of the Year thing with Ethan was great.
Yeah.
Stuff he's doing now is good when you feel that AEW thinks it's important.
Correct.
He'll go and do a good match and do a match with decent time behind it, even if he's just a challenger that's not going to win, or he had a win streak on Collision when he came back. But what is he doing now? Where is he now? It's not consistent. So you're like, oh, I don't need to put my time in on this guy.
I mean, they don't fly him out half the time. They fly him out like once every couple of months, put him on some Ring of Honor matches, and they'll use him for a few weeks, and then they just don't use him again.
Then he could.
And he's not the only one. Don't get me wrong. It's just been so long for him. It's been, and for a guy who, from what I understand, has absolutely no heat. Nobody dislikes him. There's no issue with him backstage. He hasn't pissed off Tony Khan or anything. They just simply haven't found a way to use him right. He's not like the Danhausen situation. There's nothing. There's no Britt Baker-ish thing going on here.
It'd be great. A trios run.
Anything, man. Anything. Something.
Let's not get there. Let's not talk about it.
No, look.
Final. So, and then they actually spilled the Americanos, the Grande Americano feud into AAA. So that was great. I think that is so entertaining, and that gets people to watch WWE and back. And now it's insane how the reaction is like very symmetrical, right?
Wait, what is going on? I don't understand that. So I watched the AAA product, and so current Grande Americano, who's wearing the Mexican colors, and he's like the hero of Mexico somehow, and started off as a heel, still does the plate under the head thing and all that stuff, has gone completely babyface, gets beat up backstage by original Grande Americano, who we all know is very Olympic in stature.
We're just gonna call him Decaf. Decaf and
Kurt Angle.
So he gets beaten up and taken out of his match, but because they have the same name, somehow now original El Grande Americano is in this qualifier match and
huge
wins the
flaw
match.
here.
But I mean, the Mexican people were so mad. They love the new Dita from Sprockets Americano so much. He is a Mexican national hero somehow. Nobody quite understands it, but it's true and it works. So nobody questions it.
You know what's gonna happen if they take him? If Chad Gable returns as the Grande Americano, people are gonna fucking riot, man.
But I mean, that's basically what happened at this show in Mexico. Is like they were so pissed, and Gable was so smart. He let it breathe. He worked the crowd a little bit, like, no, is it me? And then the other guys in the ring, kudos to them too. It was very savvy in-ring storytelling where we're not talking. Gable doesn't even speak Spanish to my knowledge at all.
No,
like not a lick. But he's working it, and the other guys in the ring are like, is it us? Is it him? And he gets the booze and the whatever. You totally get the storytelling. So then they had, the Americanos facing off on Raw or whatever, and I thought it was going to be the same dynamic. But somehow here in the States, Gable's the babyface, and Mexico, other Americano is the heel.
Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
I'm like, what? No, no,
As long as
he's
you wrap it in an American flag, they'll love it.
Bret Hart
is
and
the
then
baby face Americano. The German guy, the Nazi is the baby face. Well, he was. I mean, let's be honest. His character was basically a goose-stepping Gestapo guy.
I know. You'd imagine that'd get over in America.
It did.
You think?
He was great as Ludwig Kaiser. What was it? Marcel? What was his name before? Marcel, whatever. Is that
That's
his real name?
That's his real name. Yeah.
But he wrestled as
Keep on popping
Marcel
up with
for
him
a
on
while too,
Facebook
didn't
for
he?
me to add him as
Before
a friend.
WWE.
Don't
Anyway.
bring real names into this thing.
Anyway, regardless of the fact, I think he's always gotten over. The third guy, Vinci, they never cared for him much, and he, even as a tag along with Gunther and a very over Ludwig Kaiser, he didn't manage to amount to much. He doesn't even get to be one of the Los Americanos.
People did the same with World War II. They were like, Italy.
But I was
don't
so
really work.
disappointed.
I don't really care for the Los Americanos kid like the other guys. It's just like
Tyler Bate.
You don't
that
like
only
Booch?
works.
Bate and
That only
Booch?
works in WWE, I guess. I don't.
Listen, I'm kind of digging the whole Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels thing now, where it's like it depends on what country they're in, is whether or not they're the heel or the face. It's fun.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see how that
God bless
evolves.
both
But
guys for pulling double duty and building the story. It's a
It'll
great
be
crossover
WWE's first
opportunity.
mask versus mask match.
I hope they do a gas versus mask at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's where they're
good.
going with it.
I hope they do that in Triple Mania. That's what I'm thinking that should, because that will be the first one under the new umbrella, right? So
Who knows? But the hilarious thing about it is one of the top 3 stories in all of Lucha Libre involves Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser.
yes.
It might be the top.
No one would have picked that on the 2026 bingo card 2 years ago.
It might be a top
the
3
first
story in
match
WWE.
Right.
The first Max Luchador was Irish, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
I get it, but like, look, Chad Gable as a luchador is still farcical and awful, and somehow this is the only thing I think that can make it work for me. But
La
if he's the
Maravilla
one that
Enmascarada.
keeps the mask, we riot.
Cyclone
Oh, yeah.
Mackey, Corbin James Massey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first one. Yeah.
They have to leave Ludwig Kaiser in the gimmick at the end of this. Like,
Oh, yes,
Chad
they do.
Gable is all levels of greatness, deserves a real top guy push as Chad Gable. I think he could even be a champion in a couple of years. Like, the work that he did in 2024 was absolutely outstanding. The reason why everyone loves so many of these WWE guys right now is because Chad Gable made them look like $1 million. And I was realizing it the other day, watching some of these matches, especially when they're doing these 3-way matches with people that haven't been on the house shows together. Those qualifier matches for Elimination Chamber have been some of the sloppiest shit ever because these people don't know how to work with each other. And they don't have a guy like Chad Gable in there with them or Chelsea Green to make them look good. Like, there are these quality mid-card people at WWE where you don't even realize how much better they're making everybody else. Dolph was one of them for a long time. Zack Ryder used to be one of them. You know, they come in and out. Even Elias, when he was there, Elias is a fabulous fucking wrestler. I don't care what anybody says. He made so many people look good. Who was that kid that was in NXT who did the $1 million belt gimmick for a while?
LA Knight.
No, the kid that he was wrestling against. Why can't I remember that guy's name? But anyway, he was good too. Like, but that's the whole thing. Like, I can't even remember the guy's name in gimmick or whatever. But at the same time, like, there's certain people that just hold it down that you really need. Anyway, I hope they put Chad Gable back in that role. Cameron Grimes, thank you. That is exactly what it was.
Cameron Grimes was so good.
Yeah, great wrestler, and he was just there to make other people look good, and he did his damn job, and he was excellent. Where is Cameron Grimes now? Is he gone?
Released.
Impact.
And he's on
Is he on Impact at TNA?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Good for him.
Oh no, he's in MLW.
MLW. Speaking of which, congratulations to friend of the show.
Yes.
Can we call him Kevin again? No, he's Killer. He's Killer Cross.
Killer.
Who won Battle Riot and is now the MLW champion. God bless you. God bless your mother. I loved seeing that video. It touched my heart. I mentioned it to Kev the other day, and he's in a very good place in life right now. A lot of people wanted to see him in the Royal Rumble, but I think Cross as MLW champ is a very, very healthy thing for him and his lady Scarlett. I think they're doing something good over there, and hopefully, I truly hope they can do with Cross what they tried to do with Hammerstone and a couple of other people. Like, I know what Court's all about. Court misses the ball sometimes, but Court knows how to think big and keep it realistically small. He's that guy. And with a guy like Cross, we've always said, before when Freddie Prince was talking about starting a promotion or bringing back Lucha Underground or just any of these other small promotions, that you can build a whole promotion on a guy like Cross. MLW has a chance to do that right now. And they've proven they can make stars. They made MJF. I don't care. I mean, everyone thinks he's an AEW, whatever, but all that stuff MJF is doing now, Court let him do an MLW first. That's where he met his wife. Anyway, that's it. Time for our final segment of the evening, our favorite segment, the one that everybody loves so much. It's time for Pops and Drops. Yeah, that's right. Bear's got it. Pops and Drops. I'm going to kick this one off this time with a drop. I want to end with the good stuff. So let's start with the bad stuff. I'm going to start with this drop. Jake Paul dissing Bad Bunny. What the ever living fuck? Jesus. What are we doing here, Mr. Jake Paul? Maybe this is a work. I don't know. It was really kind of weird. So he comes out and he says all this stuff about, alternative halftime shows, and like this guy doesn't he's American but doesn't believe in American values, whatever the hell he was talking about. It was definitely some far right nonsense, and I don't even disparage people for having a nonsense opinion to the point of like, but can we like base it in fact and reality? Like, if we're gonna have the racist standpoint, just be like, dude, I don't want to watch the guy sing in Spanish. And if you want to be super racist about it, say, I don't want to watch the guy sing in Mexican or Puerto Rican or whatever. Like, just get it wrong. But at the same time, get it wrong in something that makes some kind of sense. Like the stuff that Jake Paul was saying wasn't even based in like any realm of reality. Also,
he needs a new career, doesn't he? So
that's what it makes sense for those people.
He has a home in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Now, given Logan is almost claims, like Logan claims Puerto Rico. Logan almost is Puerto Rican.
Jake Paul does.
Also a little.
No, Jake Paul used to flies the Puerto Rican flag at his fights.
Yeah, so
he's very proudly Puerto Rican.
This is also what makes me think it's a work, guys.
I think that's a bad work
in the head.
I don't disagree that it's a bad work, Byron. And this is my problem. This is why it's a drop. So the next morning, Logan comes out like, hey, man, I don't always agree with my brother. Like, I love Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans.
No, that was immediate.
Huh?
Yeah, no, it was immediate.
That was immediate. That happened like
Logan is basically like, hey, man, like,
however,
I love my Boricuas. Like, I'm good. Like, don't
vandalize my house.
Logan Paul was asked prior to his brother saying that. He turned around and said, no, he didn't want to watch Bad Bunny. He wasn't interested.
But maybe he didn't want to watch him. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's got enough of it.
I'm just saying, one person.
Maybe he's a huge Kid Rock fan, man. We don't know. Maybe Logan Paul loves Kid Rock.
Maybe.
I mean, who doesn't love Kid Rock?
I don't know. A lot of people in Cleveland don't love Kid Rock because he's from Detroit, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, actually, his drummer Stephanie is from here, so we actually.
Name is Kid.
So yes, and I think that's what we're getting to. Is I'm starting to believe that maybe this was a work, that this was maybe leading towards a match at WrestleMania. Because let's be honest, Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny, you might not care about it, but that's a good filler match. That's a match that I want to see. That you can use in the press.
Just
that you can...
for the entrance of Bad Bunny, of course.
That's a WrestleMania match for sure.
But now I want to see Jake Paul versus Bad Bunny.
But I don't want to see that program. I don't want to see, all
the build-up.
I want to be everything that Bad Bunny brought up.
But when I say it to my teenage kids, They get it. They'll follow. They'll see it on social. And if I'm sitting here watching WrestleMania and they come through the room and it's Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul, they're going to sit down and watch it. That is something that will connect with the Gen Alphas and the Gen Zs.
You're going to get Jake Paul versus
the millennials, man.
And
I'll watch
the
anything with
millennials, yeah. But I'm just saying, like a lot of people don't necessarily care for the Paul brothers, but at the same time, they move the needle on social media. They just do.
Oh,
now,
I just
here's my
funny.
issue. My issue is this. I didn't like it when Sergeant Slaughter did it. I don't like doing that race baiting nonsense crap. And if they're doing that just to get some interest, that was a mistake. That was the wrong way to do it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what
the
happened.
Sergeant Slaughter thing was timing. The timing wasn't it when there was technically a war going on, but at the same time, it's not on your own doorstep. This time, the political climate in America isn't the kind of place that any TV production ever enter this right now, because it's not going to go well.
I mean,
I don't think that was sanctioned in any way by production on any kind. And I think the reason why he went and do the stupid thing like, I don't know what happened to my Twitter last night, is because somebody got a phone call. It's like, hey man, what the fuck?
That is
something like that.
You did something you thought was funny when you were drunk on Super Bowl Sunday. Your brother even was like, dude, don't do that. Like, I make money with these people. What are we doing here? We live in Puerto Rico. What are we doing? I know you got 4 other houses and you can just jet out, but like, this is my main house, bro. What are we doing? You know? And then the next day you get the Nick Khan or God forbid the Ari Emanuel phone call where you're like, first of all, I own the Illuminati. Second of all, you stepped in it. Third of all, fix it. I'm not calling back. The next thing you know, you just don't exist. Like, go fix it. So
I actually control oxygen in this planet. So if you want to keep breathing,
like you're good for those guys being in the sphere of that. Like Jake Paul, makes money for Netflix, and so does Logan, and like these guys, they have pull. But at the same time, I hope the match is happening. Maybe it means that Bad Bunny is the masked man, or maybe it means that Jake Paul is the masked man. Maybe there's, maybe we actually are going someplace with long-term storytelling, and maybe the whole reason that what's his face, Aussie Boy was under the hood was because Bad Bunny was practicing for the Super Bowl and couldn't be there.
Nah, it's going to be revealed to be Grayson Waller.
That will be like social.
I hope it is Grayson Waller. At least there's some long-term story.
Who is Grayson Waller?
Exactly, Byron.
Bingo.
It's the guy I wouldn't shake the hand of.
No, I like Grayson.
Grayson?
That's a lot of people, beef.
No, but I actually refused.
The masked man is Canelo.
Hey, he's been on AAA television. So
let's not call him Canelo anymore. Let's just call him
Canelo smash Jake Paul into oblivion and put him in a coffin.
So me and Comatose have been talking about this a bit. So he says, makes sense if Jake was the mass attacker as he attacked Bron, with Logan being a part of the vision. And love it or hate it, they are notorious for their success of abstract style of business. Yeah, maybe, or maybe it makes sense that Bad Bunny was messing with them or whatever, like this. What's up, my ninja? There's.
Am I supposed to believe Jake Paul can do a curb stop?
I mean, are you supposed to believe he could do more than that? Because that's where you get scary. Bad Bunny, look. If it is Bad Bunny, great. And he's got a few months to train. And I've heard that they have had conversations. I don't know what the status of those conversations is. I don't know if anyone does. And it's not the kind of thing that's really going to leak before they want, because unlike the stuff that normally gets talked about at WWE that might leak, this is getting talked about in TKO boardrooms. This is something that Triple H gets handed from up above. Like, hey, make Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul work. Like Triple H isn't going, hey, let's do Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul. No, he'll get handed that one, and that deal will be made up top.
Okay, but let's just go like 1 second. Okay, fine. Let's say that is Logan Paul and Bad Bunny. Is that gonna be a safe match? I mean, because the Bad Bunny match that he had at WWE was with the bisexual Undertaker, so that was a safe. That was a safe match because he took care of him through the whole thing. If you look at it,
because Damian Priest's mother would have killed him if he dropped Bad Bunny on his face.
Exactly. That in Puerto Rico.
Right.
So, but I mean, that's what that match was good. But
Logan's a decent hand these days, and the boys work hard. Like I wouldn't make it a long match. I would book it as a 10-minute match. What'd you say, Meef?
Logan also wants to get these giant spots in for himself.
That's what I'm talking about.
Won't be able to
yeah, but would they? Are you thinking it's good? I mean, let's say hypothetically it's the Bad Bunny thing, right? And like I would watch anything Bad Bunny does because he's entertaining as hell. But do you really think it's gonna be a singles match? I mean, I could totally see them doing like Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus Bad Bunny and like maybe Damian Priest or something. I don't know.
That's a good point. We're a few months out. We're a month and change out from WrestleMania. Like, yeah, they're not going to get.
We're almost 2 full months.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but we're not going to negotiate and
short,
book a singles match and then train and then block and rehearse it all out for a one-on-one match. No. Yeah, that's a bit much to do or to start up now.
I mean, Seth Rollins and Bad Bunny versus Austin Theory and Logan Paul. I mean,
you just lost me.
My theory with the Masked Man as well is that maybe they don't do it in the end, but I reckon the original plan was for that Masked Man to be someone connected to Logan Paul, or in theory, kicking Bron Breakker out of the group, because WWE at the minute is a basket case. And I genuinely believe that they thought, let's just turn on another person who's the leader of the division till we're the leader of the division.
Well, I think that really was the plan because Braun was supposed to win the Royal Rumble, and I think maybe they thought that they wanted to have something in place there to possibly turn him face.
So I reckon Logan Paul's going to be the real leader of the division.
I mean, we'll see.
Bit horrific.
At this point in time, like, look, what even is the vision? It's like all the guys that were supposed to just be background heaters are the only guys left now. And so Logan Paul, to me, is the biggest star power guy in there. And if he's going to stay around, give him the reps.
It truly is the epitome of Seth Rollins. It's something that's gone terribly wrong once he's touched it.
Isn't that something that it should be studied and, like, I don't know, worked and changed? All these groups that they just remain with the names even after the meaning has gone, like the Judgment Day. It's just like
I think it's something that we should maybe touch on next week, but because I think there's something there. But just like the state of factions in both companies right now, honestly, like the state of factions for AEW and WWE right now, because
Bear come up with a big question for next week.
Well, because I was going to bring it up to you guys later, but now you guys are kind of touching up about it because I saw something online about it, and I was like, that's kind of an interesting topic because they were talking about like how stagnant a lot of the factions in WWE are, and then I started kind of thinking about like how it's kind of the same kind of deal in AEW right now, and so I was going to bring it up as like a topic for next. So here's the cliffhanger for next week. But I was kind of thinking maybe that would be something that I could talk to you guys and see if maybe that'd be something you guys are interested in talking about.
Are we doing episodic podcasting now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for
and we'll find out the state of factions in American wrestling.
So stay calm and stay in
the regardless, I feel
how do you
Jake Paul was a drop for me. Anybody else got a drop?
Oh God, I got loads on.
Well, give me one. Wrestling related, me.
I'm still half awake.
Not life, just wrestling related.
Just wrestling.
How come everyone? Never mind.
Oh, my pop of the week. My pop of the week is La Hydra.
Well, we're not doing pops yet.
We're not doing pops yet.
You know, that's a decent pop.
I got to
let someone else go for a drop, and I'll think something.
Tony, what's your drop of the week?
Well, man, I'm gonna get some hate, but fuck. CMLL costing twice as much as Disney Plus.
Twice as much as Disney Plus?
Yes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's
you got the premium, the one where you get the live shows and stuff.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I have the premium Disney, right? Like no ads and all that stuff. And it's
CMLL has like these tiered prices, right?
Yes. So
because Casey's on the middle tier, right?
Yes.
He's on whatever. He just watches stuff in whatever order they put it up. It doesn't even make sense, but it's still fun.
Right. Well, because Casey's always like throwing like, oh, there was this cool match on CMLL at me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, cool. But I missed the other good one because I don't have that tier.
So for half the price.
So Tony, you want to keep
Jesus
going?
Christ! Don't let the Tony speak.
So for half the price, I get to watch The Simpsons, the new show that I really like on Wonder Man, and King of the Hill, which I actually have right now on my second screen, and then I get to watch this, and for double of that, I get to watch shows in a very weird order, and I don't know if there is sequence on anything like that. And
Probably not.
I cannot watch it in English, which is like, I tried and I couldn't find an English transmission of that, so I don't think there exists. So, and I mean, of course, I speak Spanish, ¿verdad? Pero, o sea, what the fuck? Que chingados.
So it's going to be difficult for me to follow because my Spanish is so excellent.
Yeah. Chingón. Tu español es muy chingón.
Right. You just tell me what to watch, Tony, and I will watch it.
I will try to make it cohesive so that people can go and buy that for double the price. And I will try to make a thing on the channel so that people can watch. So
let's fundraise. Let's just give out our login password for anyone who'll Venmo us $10 flat fee.
Byron, what's your drop of the week, Byron?
My drop of the week was I watched Raw like 2 weeks ago, and it was all commercials and rewinds and all this crap. And I did a VPN and watched the British version. So I didn't really see commercials. It was a lot. I just couldn't tell. It was a lot of fade in, fade outs, and a lot of the same WrestleMania commercial. It was a horrible, horrible experience. And I'm very glad to watch AEW where they just cram everything in. And I am very annoyed that AEW keeps putting commercial breaks in matches and has a very formulaic match structure based on that. Basically, the face has a comeback after you come back from commercial. As you come back from commercial, the face comes back. And if it's a short match, come back and pin. Come back and go home. Or
so note to AEW heels, if you're a heel in AEW, get your shit in before the commercial break, or else no one's going to see it.
Yeah.
I always thought a fun gimmick. I always thought a fun gimmick, especially when Wardlow was there, is to always put his match in the commercial breaks, and then when you come back, he's already won it. So it's just a squash match in the commercial break.
Well, TNA has done a fine job of that. They crowned their women's tag team champions during a commercial break on the first episode. That was the biggest.
A new level of
All right, Bear, you got a drop for me?
Also, Byron, you can just watch it on VPN in Mexico, and you get to see the behind the scenes stuff. It's still in English, bro. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I guess my biggest drop of the week is kind of the CM Punk Baylor thing, just because it feels so like the outcome already.
Right.
It's just I don't know. It just sucks because Baylor should probably deserve a little. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's weird. It's like he's getting a championship match, but it's like, do we care? Is there gonna be like, if maybe WWE surprises the hell out of us and they hot shot it, and then it's a triple threat
in Chicago.
Think of the riot.
I mean,
man.
Like if you're really trying to get wrestlers killed, I guess you can have CM Punk lose his title.
Hasn't that city already suffered enough
before WrestleMania?
Didn't they get killed by this winter storm?
It just feels like one of the most we know the outcome of what it's going to be.
I agree. Like I couldn't even believe they made the match. I was like, what are we doing? We're putting in jeopardy the only WrestleMania match that we've announced, but we're not actually putting it in jeopardy. Why? What are we doing? Why do we even bother?
Yeah.
Like they can have this match and just make it a non-title match or something. Like, oh, you want to fight me? Well, then fight me in Chicago, bitch. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a Chicago street fight. Lights
out match, unsanctioned fight in Chicago or whatever.
Honestly, those hardcore matches are a lot more safer than sometimes actual wrestling.
That's true. Me, if you got a drop for me,
well, it technically would have been from last week, but it's rolled over.
That's fine.
It's the glass ceiling, Chelsea Green's glass ceiling. It
I don't
has rumbled into this week too. I mean, if you watch it, like it's perhaps wording is just terribly placed. Is the best way to watch it, but then there's a terrible Bruce Pritchard does a face
right
whilst giving a compliment, and he does a face, and you're like, oh dear Lord.
But I also heard a good point from somebody mildly connected to WWE that said, but what if that was on Unreal to make you feel like she had hit the glass ceiling so that they could push her through it at WrestleMania this year? And now she's injured.
It's all fake kayfabe, man. It's all fake kayfabe. That's all.
But that's part of what one of my issues with, being a reality TV producer and then seeing Unreal, and it's like, so you're making a reality show to work me? Come on, man. That's not.
I mean, that's
you can make that reality show. You can make it still be compelling, and you can cut out the stuff that really ruins it for people very easily, and still have a very genuine product. That's
and actually that kind of ties into my pop of the week.
All right, what's your pop of the week? Let's switch it up to pops now.
Wrestling with Shadows.
No, it's this is gonna be an obscure one a little bit, but
Wrestling with Shadows. He's in a shadow. Come on, guys.
Enjoying JCW's stuff that I've been seeing online with Vince Russo and like all that trash. Like it's just like it feels like a throwback to like sort of some stuff that's just been kind of transitioned out of wrestling in some ways, and so I don't know, man. It's just fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
I always liked Vince Russo's writing. Like he books for the pop. It's a little hot shotty at times, and sometimes it's ridiculous and doesn't make sense. But
in JCW, it makes perfect sense,
right? Because it's a whole other universe,
dude. It's a whole nother universe. You got some dude named Cocaine in there, and he's like,
I love Cocaine. He's a great wrestler.
Comatose feeling you.
And even like freaking what's his name? Vito, the dude that was wearing a dress in SmackDown. Vito's in there, and he's like he's their one of their Vito's all over the place on JCW. It's like
have they done a Juggalo face paint on a pole match yet?
I don't know. I haven't watched. This has been
pole and paint your face, and now you can.
This has been like something I've kind of discovered in like the last month, but like every time I see something on it, I'm like, this is fun. It's got that gal from that what's her name? I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but she was in that Netflix show. Yeah. She was in that Netflix show where they did like kind of the like behind the scenes of wrestling. For
what?
OVW. It was that bad.
It's called Wrestlers.
Yeah. That show.
Hollywood.
It's so easily named that it's hard to
Hollywood. Yeah. She's there. They got my Minnesota connection, Mr. Kennedy's. They're like champion right now.
Nice.
I don't know. It's fucking stupid, but I don't know. I enjoy the hell of watching
it. If you turn it on and you like it, then it's great. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only prerequisite, man.
That's not what you guys say when I tell you about the stuff I like.
Meatloaf. Do you actually have a pop this week? Is there anything in wrestling that you actually enjoyed?
She's in amazing shape.
La Hiedra?
Yeah.
La Hiedra, chingada madre.
I can't say it properly. I'm tired. It's 5 a.m. It's actually 6 a.m.
You get a pass, but they live right here. These guys lived in California. One of them lives in California. He should be able to pronounce most Spanish words.
I'm pronouncing OG Spanish.
So, what about it of La Hiedra exactly is so compelling for you?
She's crisper in the ring now because she can actually move.
You know what? I'm gonna actually go with you on this because the finish of that match, that kick that she took,
oh my God,
her cell was flawless.
Insane, yes.
Lola better have tipped that girl out, thanked her for the house or something when they got backstage, because the way she took that bump, like, I think La Hiedra knew she was subbing for Chelsea Green, and she was like, if this bitch can do it in America, I've got to do it here.
And she did the tree falling.
The queen of putting people flat back, fall, no chin tuck, just and if you watch it closely, the kick does not even connect.
Nope.
It's like that fucking flawless. Like, I know the girl got the some of the best cake in the world, but at the same time, I'm giving it to her on the cell. Bro, the cell was excellent.
Oh, that's why she can fold like flat back. It's just like,
Maybe that's why. I would think that actually would push her back on her neck more.
Actually, yeah. It was like a
Byron, pop of the week, brother. What do you got?
My pop of the week, I finally got around to watching it.
There was this wrestler and he did this weird thing and it was really magical.
The recent Stardom show, Supreme Fight. But this was a good show. There were a few good matches on it. Usually I just kind of tune in for like one match or something. But I thought it was cool. If you go out of your way to watch something you probably don't normally watch, this is a good show to watch. You have Maki Ito doing surprisingly well in Stardom. She beat
is the character still working? Like
no, everything is great. And then they re-recorded the music and everything. It's great. She just had a cutest in a world match, and the title was a cardboard title with the writing on and everything. It was awesome. And she did the Eddie Guerrero spot
with the cardboard title,
with the cardboard box, and her opponent was holding the cardboard belt, just confused, like, this is cardboard in Japanese, but cardboard desk.
Nope, cardboard desk.
Cardboard desk.
Hi.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's horrible. When I do accents, I'm not good. Anyway.
Hi.
So it's good.
Into racism.
Off screen, he always does accents.
So Saki Kashima is retiring, is quitting soon. So she had a match against Shuri, and it was a great match. But Shuri is like her best friend, but also the person she's most afraid of. That's why they're best friends, because she doesn't want to fight the toughest person in the company. She has this really great character and story of trying to do the least effort as possible, and she calls her fans more or less like ATMs. Or creepy otakus. She's great. She won the high speed belt on accident and renamed it the low speed belt. I love her whole thing, but she also has a flash pin, so a lot of her matches would be like a minute long. This was an actual decent match where she tried to fight back as well as much as she could. And also the singer for her entrance song was there and did it live. It was a special thing. But then you get down to the main event, Saya Kamitani versus Starlight Kid, and that was, you guys, no one cares about anything you guys say.
I'm listening,
and I did not interrupt once.
I am actually listening.
Bandwidth. Anyway, so Saya Kamitani beat Starlight Kid, but that was a great match. It was one of those things where it's like a cruiserweight. Starlight Kid, can she keep up and can she hold her own against more or less a heavyweight? And I thought she did. Oh, okay.
What? Keep talking.
No, I'm not going to. Anyway, so it was good.
Why is Kobe testing himself?
She's going to be out for a month. Anyway, that's cool. Those are good.
I love this. I love this so much. I was so happy I saw it.
Why is Kobe Test not got a top on?
Is that Ricochet?
No, that's supposed to be me. Thank you very much.
Oh God, who's that Puerto Rican rapper from New York?
Who?
Fat Joe.
Fat Joe, but he's Skinny Joe now.
Yeah,
I Sempic Joe.
Yeah,
GLP-1 Joe.
Oh no!
Lean back. Lean back.
GLP-1 thing,
Lean
baby.
back.
I love the fact he got the glasses on. That's pretty cool.
You like that?
I love it. I love it.
Sorry, Byron, you were boring us all to death. What were you saying?
Sorry, I wasn't talking about. I wasn't talking about whitewashing Lucha Libre, so I guess I got kind of boring.
Come on!
Wow!
Oh wow!
Wow! Don't be like that, Tony. Say
yes,
something good. What's your pop of the week?
Dominic Mysterio current a promo on Maricela Peña, just like
so good.
I loved it, man. I never seen that. I don't think
no one has ever done it.
Alberto Del Rio did that shit. That was insane. And he's like, I don't want to see the banners next to you. I was like, wait, what? These guys,
like no heel has ever gone there before. Even the heels go over and kiss the hand. Like what? Like
yes. You have to do
that.
And
messes with Maricela.
And she goes like, oh. It's like, what the?
I mean, Phoenix did
Loved
try to
it.
kill her.
I hope they didn't tell her. I hope they didn't tell her at all.
I hope it just happened. I hope
And it
just
was like,
happened.
and she got backstage, and then
It's like-
Mark Taker was like, it was just something we came up with. Sorry.
Yes, that was that's why I like the show, because like they're breaking the rules, they're breaking the format. It was great. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Well, my runner-up pop of the week, and you maybe appreciate this one, Meatloaf. Go on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or wherever and watch Saul Ruka working out with Sheamus.
Oh my God, so good too.
So
yes.
many things to love about it. Like
her finish sucks so much. She missed it by 3 miles on this last week.
on the NXT. No, the other girl missed it because the thing that I hate about Saul's finish is
it's not the other girl's
person has to
finish.
Jump into it.
It's not the
Because
other girl's finish.
because it's like needs to be the super choreographed to make it work. Like
Yeah, like it's a ballet move, and the other person has to do the thing
It's
exactly right.
and
I mean,
that's the
don't
thing
get me
that-
wrong. Randy Orton has, it's the same thing with the RKO sometimes.
Yeah, Javon Evans.
sometimes.
Well, the Javon Evans one, everyone's like, look at how amazing Javon is. What? The other guy had to jump and be in the exact right spot for Javon to do that, too. It was not just one person doing
I
that.
just like how in that highlight you don't always see the other wrestler rolling out of the spot.
Right.
And so it just looks like this dude's jumping into nothing. And
Nothing. Like, it looks like they just jumped and met there because you don't see
Yeah.
that Javon was. or
Yeah.
the other guy
I was
driving
like,
up to the back.
when I first saw it, I was like, what is going at first I was like, what is going on? Like
This
why-
goes back to me and Tony's point from a couple weeks ago about like more establishing shots, please. More wide shots. Stop with all the close-ups. You're not helping. I know you guys want to make a dramatic thing, but like, come on. But that's not even my actual pop of the week. That was my runner-up because what beat it was a couple of ladies doing a big thing on a show that not a lot of people watched, but it still got me a pop. It was Allison Kay and Marty Bell on
Right.
NWA Power on Roku in their team, The Hex, as the new 2-time NWA Women's Tag Team Champions, going over on a woman that I have an absolute soft spot for, even though she's a vile, awful heel. She's a terrible, terrible person. Tiffany Nieves and her partner, Valentina Rossi, who they have this woman Greta with them now, who's like 7 feet tall. It's amazing. She can't wrestle for shit. She can't do anything, but she's like the female Omos, and they can't even have her stand next to the ring because it makes the rest of the girls look so small because her head is over the second rope when she's just standing next to the ring. Just hilarious. But it was actually a pretty good match. And Allison Kay's been an NWA champion before, and she is a wonderful talent that never quite got the total rub at the top, but she's every bit as good as any veteran in the business, and Marty Bell is right behind her at this point in time. I mean, Marty's been wrestling for a while. I like these girls getting a little bit of a rub. Like, if they're going to be an NWA, put some gold on these women. Like, they are bona fide top talent, can easily get your company to where it needs to be. Yeah, maybe they don't look like Anna Jay anymore. Okay. But at the same time, like, they are qualified wrestlers. They take care of the other talent in the ring. They know how to tell stories. They know how to carry on a match where the match tells a story. So I saw the match. I watched it. I love Tiffany Nieves. I think she is a big up-and-coming talent. I think they got a rocket ship with her. But Allison and Marty Bell have been doing this for a long time. They deserve their flowers. They deserve to have some fun little runs here and there with what they're doing. They deserve for you to go out and see them on a weekend at a show, throw some money, give them some money at the merch table, respect these women because they're putting in the work, and it's damn entertaining. And you can watch it for free and easy now on Roku. I'm not saying that NWA is the end-all be-all product that you should watch every bit of. It's not like Power was right before the pandemic. Like, they had something really magical then that they don't quite have now. But my boy Danny Deals on color commentary is hilarious. He's a homie that I grew up here with in Cleveland. And, Allison and Marty having a good run over there. I hope to see. I don't give me any spoilers because I think Tony knows some of the spoilers. He does another show with Marty. But I don't want to know. I don't want to know what happens because I'm down for it. I'm watching. I watched the first match that they had, and I watched this one. So I hope they keep the belt for at least this season. and we'll see how it goes from there.
Well,
But
I gotta say something. I was not expecting it to come out when I that took me by surprise. Like, wait, what? Just like that's what I said to you immediately because I
was
so
already
different.
planning on
I was
watching
so
the show
different.
today anyway. I didn't even know they were on this episode. It's weird because they tape a bunch of stuff for NWA, but then they chop it up all sorts of weird, so you don't really know when things are
It
going
is
to air.
weird, yeah.
And they don't even necessarily use stuff from the same tapings in the same episode. It's very kind of Lucha Underground how they
no, it's like very Power Rangers, you know, just like you know, some footage with other footage and.
But kudos to them and congratulations. I love it. I love seeing them going on their little run right now. I'm really happy for Lainey Luck. I like seeing what she's doing as the WWE ID champ. You know, and there's good talent out there that hasn't been picked up yet that hopefully you guys respect and you see them. And if you see them coming to a show in your town, go out, support some local wrestling too. There's good stuff out there.
It's always good to see these people that you like appreciate get these kind of moments, even though the larger, you know, public might not see it, but they are so talented and they deserve these wins because they're just great. And like especially Allison and Maribel, it's just like really good people. Like every time we have some kind of fundraiser and stuff like that, they always come through, man. So it's just, you know, love to see it.
They're great. And it was a good match too. Like it's good wrestling. And there's actually been some decent wrestling on NWA in general, you know? So give it a chance. If every now and then, just fast forward through the stuff you don't like. It's on Roku. It's real easy to do now. Anyway, that's it. We did a lot of segments. We had a lot to talk about this week, you know, and it was a good time. It was a good time. And next week, maybe we'll get Bear's question in there.
I love it.
Thanks to Comatose for the art, and thanks to Tony for manning up finally and drinking some beer. And so for all you Joshi lovers out there that loved every minute of the show and what Byron brought to it, thank you for watching also. Oh, bye, Rebecca. We'll see you later. Later, Comatose. Thanks for the art, brother. Yes. Until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix. We're not going to get demonetized for that, are we?
Probably.